you're kidding me. Marcus, are you going to try to beat Bret Hart with a sharpshooter? Yes, he is. Are you kidding me?
This is bullshit!
Oh, we apologize, ladies and
Screw
gentlemen.
me! Everybody screw me!
Sean, you were in on that? Fucking idea. I get no place. God's my fucking witness.
Bret Hart screwed Bret Hart.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the Royal Grumble. Where's Graham?
He's upset about the Shield's half and half scars and he's still not quite recovered.
Okay.
So he's going to be back later.
I'm Daryl. And the voice you just heard is Dan. Say hello, Dan.
Hello.
Graham's going to be joining us later. He's not really a bit mad, is he? Like, he's just like putting a little mo to bed.
Yeah.
Like 3 men and a baby, aren't we?
Yeah. He's going to be back 2 weeks ago.
Why have you gone and fucked it up, right? Just because we pre-recorded some of it, we don't need to let the listeners know. We were covering it, it was fine. Everything was okay.
It's fine. Everything is fine.
Right, so you said we've got an opening contest, but you've not told me what it is.
Yeah, so your favourite, Jack Swagger, announced that he's going to Bellator to fight like CM Punk did.
Yeah?
He's going to be a heavyweight, and he said a few other things too, and he said that he's the toughest guy in the locker room.
Yeah.
And that he pitched the idea to have a shoot fight, an MMA fight at WrestleMania against any fighter they wanted.
Yeah.
Who would you have had him fight? There's an instant loss in place.
So what, any real fighter?
Anyone.
Anyone in the world?
I'm going to say anyone from the WWE roster.
Okay. I'm going to assume that we're not going to pick Brock Lesnar just because that's the easy choice, right? So we're not going to choose Brock Lesnar. So who could Jack Swagger fight? You see, I'd want it to be Evan Bourne, even though he's not on the roster, just because the first time that I ever saw Jack Swagger live, he was going to wrestle Evan Bourne, and Jack Swagger was on his winning streak, and Evan Bourne beat him. Then I'd say Alberto Del Rio, because the other time that I saw Jack Swagger wrestle live, Del Rio beat him because Del Rio's the real face of America. Vince for poor booking decisions with Jack Swagger.
See, I was going to say The Undertaker.
Okay.
Because The Undertaker's the best pure striker in the game.
Okay.
And Jack Swagger's more of a wrestling base, and it'd be interesting to see the two different styles.
Okay.
There was one I was going to pick, but I decided I'm not going to pick it for this because this fight is definitely going to happen now.
Okay.
Because he said he was the toughest guy in the locker room.
Yeah.
I'm sure fucking Sin Cara's got something to say about that.
Yeah.
He's going to hunt him down and beat the absolute piss out of him. He's never going to fight in Bellator.
Funnily enough, when he said that in that interview that he was the toughest guy in the locker room, I was like, hey up, Sin Cara better be listening.
Is it the ears on his mask pricked
Yeah.
up? Anyway, sorry, my ears are burning. I've got to beat the shit out of someone for it. It's Chris Jericho ducking hidden and pretend he weren't scared.
So, do you think Jack Swagger's the toughest guy in the locker room? Not counting Brock Lesnar. Let's not count Brock 'cause he's not there all the time. So, do you think Jack Swagger was the toughest guy in the locker room?
I don't know.
Because he's big. He is big.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
Like, apparently he's like... So, what we talk about, he was on the MMA Hour this week, and he announced his big thing for Bellator. He's not going to be in the heavyweight Grand Prix, sadly.
What I liked about this is that he's having the interview, and the interviewer says to him, so, do I call you Jack Swagger, or do I call you Jake? And then he obviously says, you call me Jake, but the reason for that is clearly because Jack's not his real fucking name. Oh, wait, but CM Punk, we still call CM Punk, don't we?
Yep.
You also know that his Twitter is WWE Jack Swagger or Real Jack Swagger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because he loses his blue tick if he changes it.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why Bill Carr is still WWE Dutch. Because he was like Dirty Dutch or something in NXT years ago. You don't want to lose that blue tick mark. It's a big thing. But yeah, he's going to fight in Bellator, and I could see him doing a bit better than CM Punk, at least. Because, I mean, he already has the same amount of significant strikes as CM Punk.
Yeah. But he's got an actual combat base, hasn't he? So, like, he did amateur wrestling. Not to say that he's going to be better or better off. But like, CM Punk did jiu-jitsu as an adult.
Yeah.
Whereas Jack Swagger...
And not full-time either.
No, when Jack Swagger were wrestling, then he did some professional wrestling. He decided, I'm going to do proper stuff.
Yeah. I don't know how well he'll do, because he's getting into it a little late.
Yeah, but he's in Bellator, isn't it? So
They'll give him
but
some cans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bellator's pro wrestling. They know, like, we'll build him up,
Yeah.
then we'll have the big match against Bobby fucking Lashley.
Yep. And then Bobby Lashley will murder him because Bobby Lashley's actually got really good now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all a bit. It's kind of underwhelming because with CM Punk it was quite exciting, whereas no one's cared about Jack Swagger for a little while.
Fuck
now.
off. I'll be watching it.
You cared so much that when he made his first UK appearance, you just went, it's a bit far.
Yeah, but where was it?
Stevenage.
I'm not going to fucking Stevenage, mate.
It's about 2 hours away.
Right. Did I have a car? Did I have a car then?
No.
No, exactly. I'm going to fucking
He was in
Stevenage, mate.
Newcastle as well. And
Right, I didn't have a car then either, so I won't get to fucking Newcastle.
So
mate.
next time he's here.
Well, it depends how far it is, doesn't it? James Ellsworth. Why we wrote his name down on the list, mate? What's happened to James?
He's gone.
What?
He's gone.
Oh.
They've sacked him. I know. The dream is over.
I mean, they've only just released his wrestling figure, mate.
Good timing.
Yeah, so I don't know whether to buy it.
He can buy a bunch of them and sell them on indies.
Yeah.
He'll do well on indies.
Yeah, well, of course he will.
He'll get that little wave at least.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Have you seen one of Young Bucks tweeted him, sent him a picture of a Bullet Club shirt?
They do that with everyone who gets released now, just to create some like controversy and stuff. It's like their favorite thing to do now is just send pictures. And like they did it to Neville as well.
Yeah.
They sent Neville a Bullet Club shirt, just like that's fun.
Did they actually send him a physical Bullet Club?
No, they sent him a picture of one with a question mark.
Right.
They like to do it to wind people up because of all the like heat between them. But yeah, James Ellsworth, he had a good run, didn't he? He was a guy who just got brought in to get killed, and then now he's managed to get like a year and a bit out of it.
Yeah, well, he
right.
he thanked him for the opportunity, didn't he? Like, I'm pretty sure he were well aware that he shouldn't have been there. Like, in grand scheme of things, like what he did, like, I quite enjoyed. I can't really say I've really watched much of his Carmella stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like all the stuff he did with Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles and things like that, like, and obviously this original stuff with Braun, that was entertaining. And so yeah, he's been loving life. He's like, if you think about it, before he had that match with Braun Strowman, even the most deluded person would be able to look at James Ellsworth and be like, "You're never getting into WWE, mate."
Yeah.
So he gets that squash match, and again, it'd be like, "Oh yeah, well, I'm in WWE," but he's not, is he? And then because he didn't have a chin or whatever it was. That's what it was, though, weren't it?
Yeah,
like,
he looked weird.
Yeah, and like Vince obviously likes his freaks. He used to have that writer that didn't have an eye and stuff like that. Do you remember him?
No.
Yeah. Oh, so I used to listen to one of the writers' podcasts that, like, what was the guy?
The Writer's Room, is it?
No, it was the guy that used to write for TNA. What's he called?
I'm not sure.
Dave Lagana.
Oh, yeah.
He did one called like "Creative Has Nothing for You" or "Formerly Creative," something like that. And he interviewed one of the writers, and he says that Vince used to love him because he's got a glass eye. So he used to make him take it out and like put it on people's desks and stuff. I was like, that's just freaky. And then he had the fat guy, the fat oily guy.
Yeah.
He was a writer as well. It must have been like fucking scene from Freaks in there. Vince just at the head of the table.
Oh dear. Just all fucked, isn't it?
Yeah, so obviously Vince loved him, and he's got a run out of it. He's got a T-shirt, an official WWE T-shirt, official WWE action figure. Is he in the video game?
No,
he's not in the video game. But even if he's not in the video game, but like he's at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Yeah, he was at WrestleMania. He's at WrestleMania moment.
He won the first women's Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, he did.
So this week on Total Divas was that episode, and they didn't talk about any of the controversy on how the match finished or anything. It was just like, oh, it's a big opportunity for us women and stuff, and then they show James Ellsworth winning it, and like, oh. And then that's it, and then they move on.
Great.
All great.
Yeah, so he'll do well.
Yeah, he'll be all right for a bit.
The Great British Grumble. Go.
Yeah, I went to Progress last Sunday at the Manchester Ritz again, the last Manchester show of the year. It was probably my favourite Manchester show. It was really, really good. Show opened with Jack Sexsmith and his mystery partner, which turned out to be Matt Riddle, versus Jimmy Havoc and Mark Haskins. Mark Haskins and Jimmy Havoc won that one. The next match was Joe Coffey versus Doug Williams, which was the match I wasn't too sure on going into, but that turned out to be one of the best matches at night. It was really, really good. Like, Doug Williams is still really, really good at what he does. I mean, he never had like a huge, like, big style, so he can still do it even 25 years into the business.
Did he retire at the end?
He did a promo where he said, I don't know if I can do this anymore, and that's all he said.
Is it an angle?
Yeah, I think it might be leading to his retirement, but he's been doing a few progress shows recently, but I hope he sticks around just in a little longer because he's still got it. Like,
How old is he?
I'm not sure. He must be in his like 40s by this point. I'm not exactly sure in his age.
He's got to be gutted that this, like, the WWE stuff's happening now. It were happening like 10 years ago.
I mean, he used to be on WWE shows quite a bit whenever they come over here. I know it weren't the same as a WWE contract that the people have got, but he did pretty well, like getting bookings and stuff. He could end up going over to coach at NXT. Johnny Moss is going over there.
Yeah.
The next match was a 4-way women's match where Alex Windsor defeated Dahlia Black, Ginny, and Candy Floss. It was kind of like two matches going on at once, where Ginny and Dahlia Black pretty much brawled around the building while Candy Floss and Alex Windsor worked the match. The next one was Mustache Mountain versus Grizzled Young Veterans, which started with a lot of silly promos where it was Trent Seven talking about how they'd been on tour all week with James Drake and Zach Gibson wasn't part of their little WWE crew, and how James Drake was going to help them organise the WWE staff Christmas party, all sorts of silly stuff, while Zach Gibson's getting really pissed off. Eventually, Joe Connors came out and attacked Mustache Mountain, which led to Pete Dunne making a surprise appearance to make it a 6-man tag, which ended by DQ when Joseph Connors attacked Pete Dunne with a chair. That was really fun, that match. CCK defended the tag titles against Ringkampf. That was awesome.
You've got a Ringkampf t-shirt,
yes,
mate.
I've got a Volta t-shirt.
That's what I meant.
Volta Britannica shirt. Keith Lee defeated Flash Morgan Webster, where... have you seen both of these two guys? I guess
I know who Keith Lee is.
Yeah, Keith Lee's like 6'4", massive
Webster,
Texan, and Flash Morgan Webster's like 5'6". And
he's a tiny little mod, isn't he?
Yeah, Keith Lee murdered him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good match still. And then the main
with
event...
his little Vespa scooter.
Yeah.
Look at me. Oh, in my Parker.
In Mod We Trust and all that.
Yeah.
And then Travis Banks defeated Mark Andrews in the main event by submission to retain the title. And Mark Andrews' former tag partner, Eddie Dennis, came out and attacked them both and held up the title to win the show to lead to a possible title match in the future between Eddie Dennis and Travis Banks. And he also had one of his and Mark Andrews' old tag team shirts on to really like hit it home that they used to be friends, that they're not anymore. Because Eddie Dennis has gone mental. It was probably my favourite Manchester show of the year. I really enjoyed this show. All great stuff.
Would you go to Progress again?
Yeah, well, you know I would.
Yeah. So would you go on the 10th of December, mate?
I would, and I am.
I was doing a thing there, but
carry on.
But
the question, I go to all the Progress shows that are outside London, but the question is, are you going?
Yeah, mate. It's in Sheffield, mate.
And I know he isn't here right now because of reasons, but is Graham going?
Aye, he is.
Yeah.
That's my extent of my Scottish.
He's going and he'll have bells. He could wear a Christmas kilt.
Yeah.
That's a thing now. Graham has to do it. He has to get a Christmas kilt.
Is a Christmas kilt a thing?
I don't know.
Joey the Sporran bit, that's
Yeah.
where you should have his mistletoe.
Oh, in the current climate, I don't think that's appropriate. It's a bit risque.
Yeah.
He's a married man. Come on.
So it's chapter 59. Whatever people say we are, that's what we're not.
Yeah, they love naming shows after different towns' musical stuff. Because this show was named Enter Smiling, which is a really obscure Morrissey reference. Their next Birmingham show, is it the next one or was it the last one that was called Don't Touch Me, Yeah, Don't Touch Me?
Okay.
Which is a Streets reference.
Right.
They're good with their like weirdly referenced shows. But yeah, it'll all be good.
We're all good, mate.
All right.
Want it?
Yeah.
I disagree. Stephanie were out, weren't she?
Oh yeah.
Right,
you know my feelings on that.
Right, so Stephanie's out to give Kurt a bollocking because why not?
Yep.
Because he's like basically new Mick Foley. He is, and his knees are fucked. Probably stinks. Like new Mick Foley. And
you don't stick a booze anymore. That's the important thing.
Well, I wasn't even implying that, but
I don't know if pain pills have a smell. Might make you get your chemical sweats.
Yeah, maybe. So he's out in ring, and she's giving him a bollocking. And she's about to say, "You're fired," isn't she? She does "you're," and then Shield music hits. Everybody goes mental. Roman Reigns pops out, a bit like when Kurt Angle popped out at TLC, and everybody still goes mental. Nobody booed, or not that I noticed anyway. And but then again, just for the listeners' reference, I now exclusively watch Raw via YouTube clips, purely because I've not got 3 hours in my life.
All killer, no filler.
Yeah, so like I quite enjoy Raw in in the sense that I maybe spent half an hour watching it, not 3 hours. But I still were quite negative about this bit. So Shield pop out. They're in ring. They're like, oh, yeah, you're right, Steph. And then they start talking. And Roman Reigns, because like she says, what are you doing out here? Or something like that. And Roman Reigns gets a microphone, basically gets his dick out and just swings it in ring. Right. and he's got his big Samoan penis in his hand. And he's going, Stephanie, we're the Shield. We do whatever we want when we want. She goes, oh, really? Do you? And he went, yeah. She went, oh, well, what are you going to do then? Just giving him lip all the time. And it's like, why don't she just like pipe down a bit? Let Shield have the little say because they're baby faces. And she just needs to be pissed off. Like, not giving him back chat because it just makes him look like a knobhead. And he was over. The crowd were loving it when he said, we're at Shield and we do what we want. He said it better than that. Like, I'm not giving him credit. But the crowd popped for that. And I don't think the crowd have popped for many things Roman Reigns has said on the microphone.
Suffering succotash?
Yeah. They definitely didn't pop for that, did they?
No. But I've been saying this about the McMahons for quite a while now. And
yeah,
I feel like a broken record.
But this is... The thing is, when they dick over people like Dolph Ziggler and people like that, it doesn't matter. Roman Reigns is the one that they, for I think 3 years, have been trying to make the next guy.
And they can't figure out why it's not working.
Right, they can't figure out why it's not working. They've put him back in the Shield. He's back over. Fans, and yeah, you can say, oh, he's only over because the other two are with him. I don't give a fuck. Right, they're not booing Roman Reigns when he's with the Shield. And then she's still going, oh, well, you're a dick. And it's like, well, why don't we just pretend that he's not? And let's... Everyone likes him at the minute.
It seems so simple.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. But then the guy they're not really trying to get over as much... Well, I guess they are in the background. Braun Strowman did a good one, didn't he?
Right. So Braun Strowman lobbed Kane through a ring, didn't he?
It's always good. It's always good.
Every week I write down on the format, Braun.
We've still got last week's format on the wall. It just says Braun across it.
And
there's no penises drawn on this one. It's...
Oh. Well, you've got a blank sheet outside of it, mate, so I might have to...
So Becky can write an angry message next to it saying, come on, boys, grow up, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so he lobbed Kane through a ring, and then after Raw, when it went off the air, he got back out of the ring and stood up, raised his hands above his head and shouted his name.
Braun's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best fit. I really want one of those Braun Strowman Christmas jumpers. If anyone's planning on getting me a Christmas present, that'd be really nice.
Oh, I'm not spending that much, mate, to be honest with you.
You're getting Hulkamania shirts again. Which I've never seen you wear. Actually, I've seen you wear.
I did, yeah.
I've seen you wear yours. I can't remember Graham wearing his.
Yes, well, for the listeners, I don't know if we spoke about this, but Dan bought us Christmas presents, which were nice of him. And he bought me and Graham 2 different Hulk Hogan t-shirts, because you said Hulkamania t-shirts like that's a thing, right? So Graham got a Hulkamania t-shirt, the classic. Yeah. It was either red with yellow writing or yellow with red writing.
No, it's a black shirt with Hulkamania across it, but the Hulkamania's got the Union Jack on it.
Okay. Right,
he's a Rangers fan. He likes Union Jack, doesn't he?
So that's what he got, right? I didn't get that, did I?
No.
So my t-shirt's a black t-shirt.
Yep.
What does mine say on it?
Hulk still rules.
Yep.
With a giant picture of Hulk Hogan on it.
Yeah, which I wear with pride.
Of course I was going to give you that one, because I knew out of the 2, Graham was more likely to wear the one with the Union Jack on it.
Yeah.
Because, I nearly said the thing that the other team says rather than the thing Rangers fans say.
I mean, let's not get. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
He might be shitting himself now if we're going to say something really bad, but I don't know what it is. So let's leave it.
Let's not jump that.
Let's talk about Jason Jordan. Hulk Hogan wants to talk. Hulk Hogan wants to talk about Jason Jordan, wouldn't he?
Depends if he's dating his daughter or not.
Well, so the thing we were talking about earlier with Stephanie, she gave Kurt the ultimatum, didn't she? Because what she said is something like, "Oh well, see, SmackDown's final person was Cena."
Yeah.
And you said Raw's Jason Jordan. That's fucking bullshit. So again, I'm paraphrasing this promo.
That would be the only time Steph was right, kind of. Which I feel bad about, but yeah.
So she said I think you said something like you got till the end of the show to change it.
Yeah.
So Kurt Angle's in ring and both his knees are bent. He stood high. Right. Let's just talk about this for a minute. Kurt Angle's fucked. Look, he can't stand up straight. His knees are firmly bent.
His arms half the size they should be. He's got like really skinny arms because his neck injury was so bad he got entropy. Like he's got nerve damage and shit.
But
like,
he's past the medical, and Daniel Bryan can't.
I know, it's mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So anyway, so Kurt Angle's still in the ring, and he's saying he's talking about he's got to announce his the replacement. Jason Jordan comes out basically crying, going, "Oh please, Dad, please let me into match."
I'll get him over.
Yeah, and he's I can't get you in, mate. Sorry. And then Triple H's music hits, and he comes down and he says, "Well, if you can't make the announcement, then I will." And he's like, "It's me." Like,
It's me, Austin. Yeah. Oh, son of a bitch! It's me.
So then he turns round, and now I should ask Graham this, but he's not here. So I'm going to ask you. You've got to imagine in this instance you've got a child that you like, right? Because like some children get estranged, so I don't want you to be like,
if Triple H pedigreed Mo in front of Graham, it'd be weird because Mo's so small.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you got to imagine it as an adult. So I'm not. I can't believe that you're the one that's talked about violence towards Graham's child, right? on this, I didn't talk about it on this show.
I was saying that'd just be a bit weird.
Well, yeah,
it'd obviously be wrong.
But I'm talking about as an adult, because Jason Jones' a grown man, right?
Grown up Mo.
Yeah.
My black stuff.
He gets kicked in the stomach first before the pedigree. So he kicked in the stomach. So the action is kick to the stomach, pick up one arm, pick up the other arm, then jump. Right? I'm telling you now, if I had a child and another person kicked him in the stomach, at that point I'd be on him. At that point, I'm not saying I'd have won. Right? I might have got pedigree myself.
So it's about the intention, isn't it?
Kurt just stands up. Oh, I'm glad I picked him as my fifth member now. That's a good move. I forgot about that.
Yeah, son, you took that really well.
Yeah. So he gets pedigreed. Now, here's one for you. Triple H is the COO of the WWE.
Yep.
Why is he on Team Raw?
Because his wife. Yeah.
What?
His wife's on Raw, so he's got to favour that one, even if he doesn't mean to. They don't like Shane, do they? So him and his wife stick together.
But he's Shane's boss as well.
Yeah.
So he could just say to Shane, well, I would say Shane, you're fired, but they had a whole match at WrestleMania about that, and it didn't work out, did it?
No, he's just favouring his wife, innit? Because you've seen how she bollocks other people. Imagine what she treats him like at home.
Fucking hell.
It'd be a fucking nightmare.
I can see why he just spends all of his time at Full Sail. SmackDown happened.
Yeah.
So Charlotte won belt, didn't she?
Yes, she did. And then she had to act surprised when her dad showed up afterwards.
Well, mate, all wrestlers acting. So like, what? Of course. So like, that's not
that one of those things where it's like, of course you knew her dad were there.
Well, yeah, but
it's hard to suspend my disbelief for that one. Out of everything in wrestling, that's where I draw the line.
Okay.
Of course you knew her fucking dad were there. Where's that Undertaker gone with his magic?
Yeah, did you not think it were a nice moment?
You're all right.
Yeah. They both had a little cry for a change, didn't they?
Well, she gets it gets passed down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Over emotional on that. But his is from years of over drinking and stuff and him being fucked.
That was that nice note to fucking, isn't it? Like
yeah. I mean, I'm kind of dead inside. So.
Okay. I've got a Siege and that.
Siege and that, yeah. Raw showed up finally. Total surprise, even though it was the last chance to do it, and of course they were going to do it.
Yeah.
But I know Graham would be annoyed if we didn't mention it again. The Shield wore half.
Whoa. That's English for stop a horse. Do we wrestler fashions, please?
Wrestler fashions.
Thanks. It's like Graham's in the room. Half and half Shield shirts.
Oh dear. Those half and half shirts never work, do they? They're almost as bad as owning a half and half scarf, Graham.
Seth Rollins, I'm just going to move on. Seth Rollins tried to do this last year.
Yeah,
he had a half Raw shirt and a half Seth freaking Rollins shirt. The thing is...
So it said,
yeah.
Rollins.
The Seth freaking Rollins shirt was shit in the first place. Cut it in half and then stitched it to a half Raw shirt. Didn't make it any better.
Yeah. And that Shield shirt didn't really work in that way, did it, either?
No, and the half and half shirt thing, it's not quite the same as a half and half scarf. So, a half and half scarf are two teams fighting against each other. The Shield's joining forces with Raw, so it's synergy. And just for Graham, I'm doing the David Brent half and half sort of linking fingers.
He'd love that.
Yeah.
He really would have done.
Yeah.
We're talking about him like he's dead now. That's weird.
I wasn't, but
We're
okay.
going to have to re-record this tomorrow if anything happens. You know that. I'm seeing him tomorrow. I've lost it. The best part about the half and half tragedy was on the WWE website, the big photo of all the Raw people on the stage at the end made it look like Roman Reigns was the only one not wearing a Raw shirt because the Shield part was kind of blocked out on Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins because of how people stood. But Roman Reigns is turned to the camera with the Shield side there.
Okay.
So it looks like he's kind of gone, guys, why didn't you tell me we're all wearing the same thing today? This is awkward. What's happening? You're making me stand out again. This is awkward.
Or he wore that one on purpose to stand out.
Yeah, because he's in the Shield and he does what he wants. Stephanie finds out.
No, it's
Stephanie weren't there. That's why he did it. Because
Yeah.
as long as Stephanie's not around, he does what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, they've changed around a lot of stuff for Survivor Series, haven't they?
Yeah, well, shall we do NXT predictions then Survivor Series predictions?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Oh, a quick NXT thing. Last
Sure.
week we were talking about how we hoped that Pete Dunne versus Johnny Gargano was going to be on NXT next week.
Yeah.
They've announced it is now. Apparently it wasn't going to be at first, but it is actually going to be on NXT TV next week. So we get to see.
Wait, so it's not on, is it not on the
It's not on
Takeover?
Takeover.
Okay, I would say because I got the list and it wasn't on there, but
No, it's not on Takeover. It's going to be on NXT TV next week.
okay.
So yeah, this weekend is the big weekend.
Yeah, so the show that you're currently listening to is the penultimate episode of Montreal 20 Years On.
This is why you should subscribe and get it on Sunday morning, so then you can listen to it while you're doing your dishes or whatever you do on a Sunday before you go to church. Because people go to church still, apparently.
Not if they're Muslim.
Well, not on a Sunday. But it's not church either, is it?
No, that's what I'm saying. But don't go to church.
Let's-
Not everyone. What if
For me, it's Friday. It's weird.
you go to church on a Friday?
Well, it's not church, is it?
What is it?
I'm going along the Jew line.
Well, yeah, but
Synagogue.
Synagogue, that's the one.
I can get my
Different
tap out.
places of worship for different needs.
Yeah. If you're... oh, this is getting thing. Let's do predictions.
Talking of Jews, I don't know which wrestler's Jewish.
You've been told off about that before.
I don't know which wrestler's Jewish, so I can't even link it. Right. So, Cassius Ohno versus Lars. We're starting on NXT. Oh no, we need to talk about NXT Takeover War Games first.
Oh yeah, we do.
The cage.
It's not War Games, is it? Let's just be right.
Right. So when I would growing up to watch wrestling, I didn't watch WCW, mate. So
Yeah.
I don't have this thing about necessarily having the lid on the roof on the cage. So what's happened, listeners? You probably know already, but they're not having the roof on the cage for War Games.
Yeah.
Triple H did some kind of interview today, and they asked about getting War Games back and what it took, and he said it took a lot of convincing. We had to make some concessions. So I think he said
Just a big cage match.
it's basically it's a double cage match. So it's pinfall or escape the cage.
Is it Escape the Cage?
I don't know. It's definitely pinfall. It's definitely pinfall, mate. It's not
it
the submit thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely pinfall, which I think works better anyway.
Yeah,
because
pinfall's
you've got near falls where there's no near falls in a submit.
Yeah.
Think how boring an I Quit match can be sometimes because there's no near falls in an I Quit match. So that's essentially what a War Games is.
Do you quit? That type of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like an earfall.
Not really. But yeah, the lack of roof kind of don't make it as exciting.
Yeah, the roof's there to stop people coming in early and to keep them locked in.
Yeah.
Like, that's the point. It seems like Hell in the Cell and stuff.
In one of them that we watched,
It could be in fucking Hell in the Cell.
in one of them we watched, Sting lobbed somebody up into the roof of it.
Yeah.
Like military pressed him and it looked fucking mint.
But, like, the roof's part of it because it's this contained environment, even though
Yeah.
it's two rings.
But
it's just a fucking elimination cage match. Whatever.
Yeah, but if they had to make some concessions, if like Vince was like, oh well, we can't like build a new structure or anything like that.
Use fucking Hell in the Cell. We don't need. I'd rather have it in Hell in the Cell and call it War Games than have two rings with just a random cage around it.
So you'd prefer to have a Hell in a Cell? Yeah, but if they said when they announced it, we're having a War Games match, it's in Hell in a Cell. It's one ring and it's Hell in a Cell.
I'd probably complain that it's not two rings, but if it were between this and having just a cage around it that people can climb in and out of and shit, I'd rather have Hell in the Cell and have people come into it and have a big Hell in the Cell War Games. Like War Games 2000, innit, already?
I'm not sure which one I'd prefer, to be honest, because
they've already copied the format of the shittest War Games match. The 3-team format.
Yeah, but the thing is, the NXT takeovers are usually really good.
Yeah,
so
the match will be great, but it's just a bit... It's like... It's War Games 2000. That's what this is. And No one likes War Games 2000 because Vince Russo was in
I'm
it.
talking to people nobody like. Lars Sullivan versus Cassius Ohno.
Cassius Ohno's doing the job, innit? Lars
Is he?
Sullivan's winning. Yeah, because Cassius Ohno's there to like help the younger guys. I'm pretty sure of that by this point. He's not there to like win the belt or anything. He's there to help bring guys up because he can have good matches with anyone.
Okay.
So this is the big Lars Sullivan push now.
Did Graham predict Bret the Hitman Hart for this one?
No, he predicted Lars Sullivan.
Did he?
I promised him that we'd give the actual results that he'd given us,
I
rather than
didn't
what
know
you
if we were
did.
just doing Bret Hart all the way down.
Rather than what you did before. If people don't remember that, our last predictions contest when Graham wasn't here, Daryl read the opposite of whatever Graham said. And he won, didn't he?
Yeah.
Still? Yeah, he won because Daryl gave him the wrong results. Broke my streak.
Okay, so because you've both gone for Lars, I'm just going to go Cassius Ohno just
Okay.
because it's not exciting if we don't pick different. Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream.
I'm going to go with Aleister Black. I don't think it's time to beat him yet. He'll need to be beaten soon. You can't even go forever, but I feel like it wouldn't hurt Velveteen Dream if Aleister Black beat him.
Okay. What did Graham go for?
He went for the Velveteen Dream.
Velveteen Dream.
I'm really looking forward to that match. I think that'll be a match at night.
I haven't seen any build up or anything like that.
It's been really good.
I know who Aleister Black is. I've seen his matches. I've not seen Velveteen Dream's matches, so I'm going to go Aleister Black just purely on that.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre versus Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT title.
I'm going Drew McIntyre.
Me
I feel-
too, just because
He's not going to drop the belt straight away to fucking what were he called before? Can't remember. CN.
okay. And is Graham gone for Drew as well?
King Drew McIntyre the first in all capitals. I was going to try and do it in a Scottish accent, but I'm not going to try. I'm not going to
No.
embarrass myself like that.
Uh
I do it in a Highlands voice. Like, I don't know.
all right.
Racism.
Four-way for the vacant women's title. Ember Moon versus Kairi Sane versus Nikki Cross versus Peyton Royce.
Is it an elimination or is it just a single pinfall?
For the listeners, I'm doing the Alan Partridge shrug.
Yeah, see, San Antonio, is it at?
It's Houston.
Houston.
Take over Houston.
I couldn't remember where it was. Let me just double check to make sure, because my opinion's different depending on
Because
what the match
Mauro
actually is.
Ranallo on the promo video says, Houston, we have a War Games.
It's just a fatal four-way. So, because it's not elimination, I think Nikki Cross.
Okay. So you've gone for the Scottish one.
Yep.
Has
Graham.
Graham gone for the Scottish one?
No, he hasn't. He's gone for
Okay.
Kairi Sane.
Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a reason to mine. Okay, so I don't think it's going to be Kairi Sane. Purely because, and what you just said about being racist, this is not being racist, right? We've just had a Japanese women's champion that's been a dominant women's champion.
Yeah.
We don't need another one straight after. No, straight after. Because that, to me, says we've just gone, oh, Asuka worked, let's get another one in. Let's not do that. I think it works better. And Ember Moon, you can't have Ember Moon because she just lost to thingy, right? So to me, that leaves Nikki Cross or Peyton Royce. When I wrote the matches down, it says Peyton Royce with someone.
Billy Kay.
That's the one. Could she cheat? Billy Kay helps her win.
See, I was thinking along the lines for how Nikki Cross wins. I feel like Kairi Sane will hit a big elbow and then one of those two will like knock her off the other person. But I can see Peyton Royce being the one to take the fall more than the other three because they won't want to beat Ember Moon and Nikki Cross is kind of pushed too.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm still going Peyton Royce for a short run, and then one of the other three beats her for the belt and has a longer run. So the main event, well, I assume it's going to be the main event. It's what
War Games, the
Yeah.
match beyond, but without that bit. Or a
So-
fucking move.
it's the Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong
Weird too.
versus the Undisputed Era, which is Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby
Bobby
Fish,
Fish.
versus Sanity, which is Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, and Big Damo. What's Killian Dane?
Killian Dane, yeah.
Dane, yes.
Graham has gone for Sanity.
Okay.
I will go for the Undisputed Era.
Sanity. You're going for Undisputed Era.
Yep.
Well, it's a three-way. Why would I not just go for the other team?
Yeah.
I mean, what I've done here is completely fucked myself, but it just makes it more interesting.
Yeah. I think Roderick Strong is going to join Undisputed Era.
Yeah. Well, has he actually hit him at some point?
I think so.
See, that's a logical that I don't think NXT would have.
I could see it happen.
But it makes sense because he's an indie guy in trunks, isn't he? So
Yeah, and he's
a little midget as well, isn't he?
he does backbreakers and that and chops people really hard.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want to move on to Survivor Series?
Might as well.
So this show is 4 fucking hours.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to Monday.
4 motherfucking hours this show's going to be.
I enjoyed
Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves, listeners.
We will make the joke that, and it's finished now. We will make that joke several times about
Well, I hope
it.
they start it now so it finishes on time. Fuck me. Right, so I don't know if any of these matches are pre-show matches. If they are, I'm guessing it's Miz versus Baron Corbin because who gives a fuck about that?
No, the pre-show is Enzo, I think.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
Enzo, and then they're talking about doing a battle royal.
Great.
Yeah.
Fucking can't wait. Right, so if that's the pre-show, we'll go that one. Enzo versus Kalisto.
Enzo is going to win, sadly.
Who was Graham gone for?
Enzo.
You're boring as fuck. Kalisto.
know.
I'm going to go Kalisto then. He's not going to win, but what's point is in this fucking segment if we all pick same one?
I like Callisto. I wish he'd win. And I wish he'd use his other music that's a lot better than his like weird little acoustic guitar noodling one.
Oh, do you like the one where it says Lucha and he points to the sky?
Yeah. Have you played as him on WWE Game at all?
No, I haven't.
I'll play the match with him. His music on WWE Game is the other music, which is much better.
What,
So-
the Lucha, that one?
No, it's the one that's like a heavier song.
Okay.
It's really good.
Sing it.
I can't sing it.
Good point.
Yeah.
Miz versus Baron Corbin.
I think Corbin and
Okay.
Graham's with me on that one as well. Boring Corbin.
Right, well, I'm going to go for Miz.
Yep.
Can I just say that it truly is the women's revolution, mate? Truly. And I'll tell you why. Because this is the first pay-per-view in WWE history that I will have a piss during a men's match. Because I fucking hate Baron Corbin with a fucking passion.
Yeah,
I realise I'm going bald, right? But I'm not growing my hair out. Like, fuck me. And I realise that I'm not the most athletic looking person, but I'm not an athlete, right? He has to wrestle in a t-shirt because he's got an abnormal belly button.
That's because he used to be like Kevin Owens size and he lost a lot of
but
weight.
this is his job. Do some fucking sit-ups. Like, fucking eat. See Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal, right, was the fucking shittest one in 3MB, right?
Yep.
And he was the WWE fucking champion because Vince thought he's quite vascular, actually.
Look how vascular he is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
exactly.
going to do the obligatory impressions this month and it's not as good. Like,
Well-
that's what Graham brings to the show.
Yeah, but I quite enjoyed that. That was good. It was unexpected. I liked it. More of that in future, please.
Okay.
But yeah, and so and he's just, I've shit hair.
I like wolves.
Yeah,
I wear a
so-
shirt with a wolf on it
Yeah,
and I've got a motorbike.
that he never rides.
I got really depressed because the band Code Orange sent out a thing because Baron Corbin's like put him over on Twitter or something and he's put him in his workout playlist and they were like, hell yeah, Baron Corbin. No, you're a good band. Don't give him attention even though he's a fan. Like, I don't like him listening to the music I listen to.
Okay, so talking of women's revolution, Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte.
Oh yeah, that's happening. Charlotte.
Okay, who's Graham said?
He's gone for Charlotte. We're just teaming up on you, so you always pick the other ones, I think.
Yeah. So I'll pick Alexa Bliss. Say with women. So Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Asuka, Sasha Banks, and Bailey versus Becky Lynch, Carmella. Is it Naomi or Naomi? I always forget. Tamina and TBA. Who's that?
Who's the TBA? Oh, it'll be Natalia, won't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are these elimination?
Yeah, the Survivor Series matches.
Okay.
So again,
why don't we? How's Graham done his prediction? Has he picked the winning team?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine then.
He's picked the Raw women. I'm going to pick the same thing. I think Asuka will be I think Asuka and Alicia Fox will survive because I don't think Alicia Fox will get in the match.
Yep.
So bonus points, like just because we're here and he's not, we're doing bonus round.
I'm
the
not
surviving people.
Right, so you said Asuka and
Alicia Fox.
Fox. Okay, so no surprise to listen. I've gone for SmackDown because you guys have gone for Raw. Could the TBA be Paige?
There's a little rumor, but apparently she's supposed to be going back to Raw.
Yeah. Do you think it's a bit weird that Natalya lost the belt, but then they didn't announce it for the match, and they've just gone TBA?
I guess it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I guess Shane McMahon could have done it on Twitter. But yeah, it's one of those things where she's just lost titles, so they'll probably wait until she's at thing. Let her calm down off a loss.
Yeah. The Bar versus the Usos.
That'll be really good, that match. Just think about it. I bet that'll be really good.
Yeah.
I think the Usos will win. Oh, fuck. I'm not even looking at Graham's before I do mine. I've just realised he's picked the same as me again.
Fuck off. So I'm going for the Bar. Because they don't raise the bar. They are the bar.
And they became mates in a bar, remember?
Did they?
Yeah. Like the time when they finally became mates because they hated each other and then they were told, oh, you're not going to be a team anymore. So they went to a bar and were drinking like, bitch, fair. I'm kind of glad it's over. And then they got into a bar fight and turned out they're really good at fighting other people. So they're like, oh, maybe we should give this tag team a go.
They went, do you want to be mates?
Yeah. I think we just become best friends.
The Shield versus the New Day. I assume this one's not elimination.
Right. Just so I'm picking opposite to Graham, I'm picking New Day because Graham has picked Shield.
New Day. Shield.
New Day.
Okay, so the Shield, since reforming, have only had one match
Which was
together.
on Raw this week, randomly.
I'm just trying to weigh up whether they'll risk making them lose.
Yeah.
Because, like, because they had the random one match, which is technically their first match, and they've won it.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, because they've won that, can they lose a match? So I'm gonna.
Dean Ambrose will take fall.
So I'm gonna pick New Day purely based on that. I mean, if I were booking it, I'd pick Shield. But Vince is a mentalist.
Yep. Never know which way that's going to fall.
Right, do you want to do real main event or Team Raw versus Team SmackDown?
Let's do the real main event first.
All right. Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles, WWE Champion versus Universal Champion.
I mean, Brock's going to win.
Yeah.
I don't see him beating Brock if he's going to be there for...
Did you see the promo that Daniel Bryan
Yeah, it was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
That was actually really good. I saw that was really good. You can tell, like, Dave Meltzer claimed that that's the promo he was probably going to do last year. But, like, no, Daniel Bryan was awesome in that segment.
Yeah.
Like, and AJ Styles was stood there like, he's going to take all this out on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good promo. But Brock's winning.
You're picking Brock.
Yeah, and Graham went with Brock too because, Brock.
Okay, have either of you come up with where the screw job's going to happen?
I think it's going to be in the Raw
You have?
match, yeah.
I think it's going to happen here. Purely based on Daniel Bryan's involvement. So Daniel, I think they're going to have Daniel Bryan accompany AJ Styles to the ring, or he'll be down at ringside for some reason because of Paul Heyman or whatever, and I think he'll ring the bell, or order the bell to be rung.
So is that a second bonus point then?
If you want, I'm just saying that's my reasoning for picking Brock, is that I think that he's going to ring the bell, so AJ Styles loses the match, but doesn't have to get an absolute pasting from Brock,
Yeah,
and
that makes sense.
doesn't look shit. And then it also might link into maybe Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens, but I'm not quite sure how that links in.
Yeah.
So, it's Team Raw versus Team SmackDown men's version. It's Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and the fifth member Triple H versus Shane McMahon, the solidest man on the roster, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and John Cena.
So Graham's gone for the SmackDown men.
Okay.
See, I think this is where the screw job will happen, but I can't see, like, Nakamura shouldn't be getting pinned. Finn Balor probably shouldn't be getting pinned at this moment. But I feel like SmackDown men might win it.
Who does the screw job, mate? Because from a logical standpoint, an authority figure has to order the bell to ring for it to be a true screw job. I'm not counting if somebody just rings the bell. That's
okay. Here's how I see. I think Jason Jordan's going to be involved in the finish. Kurt will be the last survivor for Raw. Triple H will be the one to call for the bell because he's got eliminated and he's pissed off. And it'll be probably Nakamura on the other side of it because I don't think they'll be wanting to pin him as bad.
So you think Shane, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and Cena's all going to get pinned?
Cena. I could see the final four being Cena and Nakamura and then Triple H and Angle.
I've just figured it out.
Balor's going to get eliminated because of Samoa Joe.
I figured it out, mate. Cena needs a feud for WrestleMania. Yep. Who do you want to link him up with? Because this is where it's going to happen. Bear in mind he could go to Raw or SmackDown.
Oh, fucking Jinder's going to do something.
Do you think?
Him and Jinder is definitely the thing on SmackDown.
Oh. Because I was getting excited and thinking, well, he could go for Braun.
Yeah.
And they could double eliminate each other, go off to back. Or what happens if him and Bobby Roode have a bit of a to-do with something, and then Bobby Roode turns heel?
This match is really hard to predict because of all the possibilities they could do, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah.
But now I think it's going to be John Cena and Jinder. So
I suppose Jinder could come down to get rid of Cena, Kane could come down to get rid of Braun, and they don't have to get
There's just going to be a lot of fuck it, but I feel like SmackDown's going to win and Nakamura will be the survivor.
Okay, so I'll put SmackDown. Well, that means I've got to pick Raw then, doesn't it?
Yep.
I think that it's quite easy to get a lot of these wrestlers out there without getting pinned, to be honest. Because Samoa, or to even... I don't know if that came on. Oh, okay.
Mic dropped.
for the listener, I did a mic drop, basically. So what I was saying is it's quite easy to get a lot of the wrestlers out of there without necessarily pinning them clean or pinning them all. So obviously you've got Braun's in a feud with Kane at a minute, so Kane could just get involved. So that gets rid of Braun. You got Finn and Samoa Joe on the same team that can do something to each other, and they're out.
Yeah.
You've got Bobby Roode's been a good heel before, so he could easily turn on one of his team. You've got Jinder Mahal that's going to get involved with Cena. So it leaves Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Nakamura, Triple H, and Kurt Angle. Triple H and Kurt Angle are clearly going to have a feud at some point. So it's just difficult to pick, isn't it? Because of all these moving parts. Jason Jordan's got to be involved somewhere. Do you think they're going to turn him heel and turn him into Seth Rollins?
Kinda, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much
Jason freaking Jordan.
Yeah. If you've got time before Survivor Series, send us your predictions.
Maybe Jason Jordan is the real Double J of J&J Security. There's loads of J's there, isn't there? How's Jeff Jarrett doing?
He's in rehab still.
Oh.
Anyway.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, are we done?
Yeah, we're ready to go. This is going to be the longest episode ever, by the way.
That's fine. Give listeners something to do, won't it?
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's penultimate episode of Montreal 20 Years On. After the break, Graham's gonna come in and we're gonna talk about Survivor Series 1997 in its entirety, not just the Montreal Screwjob.
Other things happen too, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you name one of them? I can.
Billy Gunn missed a leg drop.
Gang rules.
Rules. Gangs did roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Gang bang.
This November, the Royal Grumble podcast presents Montreal 20 Years On. Tune in on the 5th of November for Career Mode Heart Foundation 1997, where we take a look at the Heart Foundation's rise and fall in the WWF during 1997. On the 12th of November, we discuss whether we think the Montreal Screwjob was all planned out ahead of time. In the Grumble debate, was the Montreal Screwjob a work? And on the 19th of November, we review the full pay-per-view where the notorious event took place, Survivor Series 1997. That's not all. We will round off the month on the 26th of November with a look back at this year's Survivor Series weekend, including NXT TakeOver, WARGAMES. Expect all that and much, much more during the Royal Grumble podcast presents Montreal 20 Years On.
We're back. I'm back. You're all back. We're back.
Keep doing this disappearing act, Graham. It's not on.
Look. I'll do what I want. Okay. This time I just had to take a Mondo Duke. So that's all it was. It was a Mondo.
What's that?
It's a big poo.
Okay.
It's like
He climbed in the window this time.
I just take a Mondo Duke.
So he didn't do it in my flat.
I did. Yeah. Well, I mean, all I'm saying is, if your upstairs neighbour leaves their window open, that's their fault.
Maybe he did it on the centre spot of the football pitch down the road.
As a dirty protest to Carlos.
No, I wouldn't do it. Well, he was sacked yesterday, so... Oh, was he? Whoa, who bloody knows?
Either way, our form will have probably gone to hell by now.
Yeah, it's probably about predicting the future. We're talking about Survivor Series 1997. It's the actual Montreal screw job, the actual pay-per-view.
It's the penultimate show in Montreal 20 years on.
It is the penultimate show, because next week we've got our full review of Survivor Series and NXT TakeOver WarGames.
Yeah.
I mean, WarGames was cancelled after all those people died, but, they decided to call it Pretend Fight Games.
Yeah.
It's still the same match.
A bit like with the Elimination Chamber in Germany.
Yeah.
No escape.
Yeah, funny they don't use the word chamber in Germany, isn't it?
Yeah, but they still use no escape.
3 weeks in a row, we're getting close to a line, but we're on a different line this time, aren't we?
Let's carry on. Survivor Series 1997, a pay-per-view I've never seen. I think we're starting to find out why I've never seen it.
A pay-per-view I haven't seen in about 19 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you say you've never seen it because of this reason, but you weren't watching wrestling at the time, were you? No, so you didn't see it at the time.
No.
And then why would you go back and watch the full show? Because
historically important.
Well, the main event.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
That's what we learned.
Precisely what we learned. So, Daryl, I imagine you've been back to see this a lot.
Yeah. So, because it's gang rules, isn't it?
Yeah, gang rules.
Gang rules.
Right. I fucking love this. Right. And I don't give a shit what anyone says about this. This is what New Japan is now. Right. Everyone's in a group. They've all got the little role in the group. Is that not right?
Kinda.
Yeah, exactly. I'm right. So basically,
I would say they've all got a little role in the group.
Graham, the next debate is
what was better, New Foundation or
no? Is 1997 WWF basically the same as New Japan now? Basically, in a way.
Well, I mean, after last week's debate, I don't think I'm willing to chair another debate with you guys until the new year. So just be aware of that.
Let's just clear the air now. We did have a fist fight afterwards.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it was more of a scuffle in the locker room.
I got naked.
Yeah.
Well, we decided woman in love style because that's the proper way of. It's a old film where Oliver Reed and I can't remember the name of the other guy got naked to wrestle in front of the fireplace. It's not gay at all.
Why is it called Woman in Love? They're men.
Yeah. But
Maybe identify as women.
They wrestle naked because that's how you wrestle, Olympic Greek style.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we spent the night in the Sheffield Hand Centre because we both did a good job punching each other in like the shoulder and stuff.
I mean, that is why we watch wrestling, to get naked and wrestle with each other, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
What? Why?
Mate,
what do you?
We have wrestler fashions.
I don't need to watch wrestling to do that. Don't wrestler fashions is not gay.
I'm not. There's
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being gay, but I'm just saying wrestler fashions is not gay.
We compliment them on their fashion tense and their bodies, and
you can be straight and be fashionable. Well. Have you not seen the socks I'm wearing? The shoes, or they look like shoes, but they're actually socks.
Oh.
So technically, I could take my shoes off, and you think, "Oh, he's got shoes on." Nothing gay about that at all.
That is the most brilliant and most mundane thing you've ever said on this podcast. Is that your new catchphrase?
Maybe.
All I'm saying is, it looks like I'm wearing shoes with these socks. The Royal Grumble. Ding!
So this was how interesting this pay-per-view was. We've instantly started talking about our socks.
Well,
and other stuff.
First match were good.
Is it?
Was it though?
When this first match, because obviously I didn't know what the card was at all, really. When this first match came out, I was like, oh, okay. I can see why Daryl was so keen to do the whole show.
Yeah. So you've got the Headbangers teaming with the New Blackjacks. Now, if there's anything better than the Blackjacks, it's the New Blackjacks.
Who featured in the New Blackjacks?
Well, it was Blackjack Wyndham and Blackjack Bradshaw.
There you go, then. Barry Windham looking particularly poor.
Yeah, so Barry
This
Windham,
time.
former Four Horsemen.
Yep.
Blackjack Bradshaw, future WWE champion.
Future longest reigning champion in SmackDown history.
Yeah.
Until Jinder beat it the other week.
Fucking Jinder.
Or didn't. After he beat... No, actually, that's still to come, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm thinking too far in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's them two teams teaming together against the Godwins. Now,
Already a favourite.
you know they're one of my favourite tag teams.
Yep. Henry O. Godwin and Phineas I. Godwin.
Yep.
What does the O stand for?
Oh, no.
Oh, what does the I stand for?
I don't know. Don't know.
Well played.
Teaming up with the newly formed, not yet named,
Yeah, I noticed
New
that.
Age Outlaws.
Yeah. Yes, just the Road Dog and Billy Gunn. Or is it Badass Billy
It
Gunn?
is Badass Billy
On his
Gunn
name
because...
strap, it definitely said Badass Billy
Yes.
Gunn.
Yeah,
I thought,
because I think Jerry Lawler's the one who says, I can't call him Badass, it seems weird. Which is weird for Jerry Lawler to say.
Yeah, it gets worse, Jerry. Like,
Yeah.
it gets worse.
So let's
And
talk...
not just for you.
the promo at the beginning of the match. What does Road Dogg refer to?
Well, before we even get to this, sorry, I've just realised that I've completely forgotten to mention the opening package, which is all about Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, and really makes it sound like Shawn Michaels might be gay.
Yeah?
Yeah, because like a lot of it is about Shawn Michaels going, at the end of the day, I choose to live my life this way,
Yeah.
and that's okay by me.
That's from the promo where Brett goes, oh, you were in a gay magazine.
Well, exactly. That's the funny thing. Like, it amused me that you mentioned that the other week because, like, I just remember thinking back to this and going, yeah, it really comes across that way. I mean, you know, whatever works for him, but yeah, it really comes across as if he's, well, certainly in the 90s, if you said, I choose to live my life this way, I think people would certainly assume one thing.
Yeah.
Especially if you're posing for Play Girl. And then, you know.
I mean, you're laughing about it. I've got the poster.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, the reversible poster
Yeah.
on your wall.
Yeah.
Which your dad had to put up for you.
Laminated.
Let's not forget that. I don't know what you're having a go at. You've got the China Playboy. I'm the only one who's survived with some dignity here. I'm fertile. Remember that? So, Godwin's a new age. Sorry. Badass Billy Gunn and Road Dogg against Headbangers. Again, I remind you, the 11th best tag team on SmackDown.
So,
And the new Blackjacks.
what was Road Dogg's promo at the beginning of this match?
Oh, you went away? Oh, you're going to find out from somebody.
What did he say after this bit?
I don't know what.
He-
I don't know, to be
I
honest.
can't remember the first gay slur he used, but the second one, he referred to them as skirt-wearing butt bangers.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure,
Cool.
all the way through the match as well, the crowd were chanting, and I don't really like this word. But
Oh,
I'll
don't
go
say
use
it
it.
then.
Okay,
I don't know what it is, but.
I think it might begin with F
Faggot.
and end into yeah.
oh,
there you
yeah.
go.
so he said it then. He said
I don't
it.
like it, but I'm using it to quote the fans continually chanting it every time Billy Gunn got in the ring.
Yeah, it's like when you read Advice of Men and you've got to like say the language.
Best bit that.
I'm sure it is. I bet when the teacher asked you to read it out, you were like, I'll say that word a lot.
You know what? There was a little bit ago when you said to my girlfriend, wrestling's about 10 years behind everything else.
Yeah.
And she was watching this with me, and she was horrified, rightly so.
She's probably watching it
at
going,
the amount
"You said
of
10
gay
years."
bashing. Like, I know we've made a few jokes at the beginning, which, you know, were near the knuckle.
Like I say, it's,
yeah,
if
but-
Shawn Michaels wants to have sexual intercourse with other men, I don't care. You know, but
it's cool,
don't-
sexuality at the spectrum and all that.
yeah, whatever works for you, mate.
But the gay bashing in this first match, especially, and then later on, is just fucking hell. It's so bad to go back and watch.
that he's probably bi?
Yeah.
He's definitely bang Sonny.
What does that mean? Why
That's how Chris Condino quit, pretty much.
Well, because you said that he might be gay.
Oh, right,
I'm
okay,
saying
right,
he's got
okay,
to be
yeah,
bi
sorry.
because
Oh,
he's
yeah.
definitely bang Sonny.
And he's married now. Like, I mean, if you're going to go that far,
to a Nitro
don't
girl.
get married.
yeah.
Oh.
There's also
He's
that
married
thing
now.
there's also that thing on the sleaze list.
What? He pissed in everyone's mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think that's what he was actually referring to. So
Yeah, that's what I was
he
referring
was
to.
referring to something else. Let's carry on. Anything more to say
So
about this match?
was like the Headbangers weren't as bad as I remember, but they're not great, are they? And the Blackjacks, fucking hell.
What? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's just like they're both a bit. Yeah.
Terrible? Yeah, they are. They are bad.
Also, I love the fact in these matches, this is the only time you see someone get pinned by a sidewalk slam or just like a shit clothesline, not the clothesline from hell that he used later, like just a regular old clothesline. If you take a bump in these matches, apparently the ring is made of fucking concrete.
Well, I mean, that's definitely proven by the actual finish, where Billy Gunn leaps off the top and misses by an absolute country mile.
Yeah.
And then they just pin anyway. So...
Yeah, it was a bit of a botch, weren't it? And,
yeah.
So the surviving members of this one were the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn.
Yep.
Both surviving.
The possible sometime old age, the new... The anti-legal brand new people. They're still working out the name.
The James Gang.
Yes, that's right. Yes, the Voodoo Kin Mafia.
The Roadie and Rockabilly.
Rockabilly.
That was like 3 or 4 months before this,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Graham, like, you didn't have to live through fucking Rockabilly. I'll not have a bad word said about the real Double J, right? He were alright.
Yeah.
But fucking Rockabilly with a fucking honky tonk man.
These two were born out of a feud that involved the Honky Tonk Man. This team came from the fact the Honky Tonk Man was trying to recruit the Road Dogg and eventually ended up with Rockabilly. And then eventually they both turned on him.
Excellent.
Oh, I'd forgot that until just now. Next up was the Truth Commission versus DOA.
Oh, this is good.
This
the Truth Commission.
Daryl.
I was watching it and I was like, I get that they're supposed to be South African, but at the same time, it's like I don't really get the Truth Commission. So I've just literally gone on their Wikipedia now.
Yep.
The gimmick was that they were a white separatist group from South Africa, and they were against the DOA.
Yep.
2 members of which have SS tattoos.
Wow. Daryl, these are some of your favourite teams.
Yeah.
So make pretend racists versus some real racists.
Yeah. Can you name... now, I want to word this right, because I don't want you to name Kurgan, to be honest with you.
Oh, well, that's all I had.
Or the Jackal.
That's all I had.
There's somebody else that you'll recognise in Truth Commission. I don't know if he was in this match, though. That might not be a good question.
Bill.
No, he's called Bull Buchanan, mate.
Oh, yeah, I did recognise him. I think he is.
Wasn't he the original, like...
Kurgan?
Yeah,
Kurgan? Is he Kurgan?
Well, Kurgan wins the match.
Kurgan always wins.
Yeah. WWF attitude.
There you go, yep. That's literally my only point of reference for Kurgan.
This match...
Kurgan's in one at Sherlock.
I was going to say that in the Sherlock Holmes film where he has a fight with Robert Downey Jr.
My favourite part about this match was pointing out to Becky that in a year's time, the guy who wins this match will be in a faction with Earthquake wearing a mask and a South Park top, Luna Vachon, and the Insane Clown Posse.
And an actual doll of Cartman.
Yes.
Don't forget the actual Cartman doll.
And she was like, what? I went, in a year's time, he's in the group called The Oddities that are led to the ring by the Insane Clown Posse, who also wrestle in that group. And she was blown away by that fact.
Fucking juggalos, man. Fucking juggalos.
Disciples of Apocalypse, they were...
Skull, 8-Ball.
Was it Chains in this one?
Chains and Crush.
Yeah.
My favourite bit is when they came out on the motorbikes looking all tough and then had to drive their motorbikes back to the bottom of the entranceway to then walk up the entranceway.
Because there's not enough room. Yeah.
It's just like...
Undertaker was like, I'm not doing that, but there's not enough room.
Yeah, I quite like this team.
Hmm.
Do you not like DOA?
No.
No, this was really bad.
But they're a biker gang.
And...
Okay.
Good point. Now you're fine.
Yeah.
Were they part of the Bone Street crew?
No.
Oh, were they not?
Chains might have been.
Chains wasn't he?
They were all Taker's mates, weren't they?
Yeah. Of course they were. They've got motorbikes.
Yeah.
Isn't this about... No, it's actually a couple of years before that. I was thinking, was this about the time when Undertaker was cutting that promo about Big Show and him riding into the desert naked and Big Show was going to drink the piss out of the cactus or something?
At 99, that mate.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I'm a little early for that.
Jackal's a bit
99.
small, isn't it?
That promo was 99.
Yeah, it really was.
What? Ministry Undertaker was 99.
No.
There's a
Unholy Alliance
yeah. There's a
Undertaker.
brief period between Ministry and like American Badass where he teams with Big Show and he mentors Big Show.
Yeah, and he sort of does a bit
don't
American
remember.
Badass, but not really.
Yeah.
Is this the bit when Austin got run over and everything?
Yeah, it's actually around that time. Yeah,
Yeah.
because then shortly after that, Undertaker, rather than take any sort of bumps or show any sort of arse, just buggers off.
I don't remember much of that bit because so much was going on, and it was that era where after Russo had gone, they were trying to fix all the shit he caused. But
They've got like duct tape pasted over the booking, just cover up that bit where it uses homophobic slurs. And if you could take out the nastiness about the ethnicities here, that'd be great.
So yeah, this was racist against racist, and the interrogator is the lone survivor beating Crush after a sidewalk slam.
Kurgan always wins.
Actually, the interrogator, he eliminates 3 of the 4 people.
It's Kurgan.
Yeah.
I looked at Kurgan in this and went, I bet they really wanted him to succeed. Because he's definitely that sort of model, isn't he?
Yeah.
I bet they really thought he was going to be good.
Yeah, at least like a top heel for someone to feud with.
Yeah, exactly.
On the Giant scale, he's better than Giant Gonzalez, but that's probably it.
Yeah. Is he better than Great Khali?
I wouldn't say at this point.
The Yeti.
The what?
The Yeti.
Why Tay? I don't understand.
Yeti.
Oh, well, now that you shouted it louder, I understand.
The Yeti.
Well, that's what they shout.
Wait a minute, you don't know the Yeti?
Isn't that the guy that was dressed up as like a mummy?
Yeah.
Why was he a Yeti then?
Who's the Yeti?
That's what he was called.
But why was he the Yeti if he was a mummy?
I don't know.
Why, Daryl? Why was he a Yeti if he was a mummy?
I'm a bit good I didn't put that on before we recorded today.
Oh, I'm delighted that you didn't. Let's move on to the amazing Team Canada featuring one Canadian
Let's
person.
talk about the promos first.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So Team USA is led by Vader. Vader used to be a good promo when it was just him and he had Harley Race behind him and that, and he'd shout at the camera and look all intimidating. But here, he's cutting a babyface promo even though they're going to be the heels, and his backup is... I guess it's not as bad as Team Canada's, but at the same time, this team is kind of shitty with Goldust and Mark Merrow, who with Sable just in the background hidden. And
a fan.
Steve Blackman. Yeah,
a fan.
A fan.
Steve Blackman, who is a fan, right? Do you know at the end of this year, 1997, there were riots at WWF events, 2 separate events. They had riots because, oh God, I had it written down earlier on. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, basically there were riots. And I can't imagine why that was, with them going, well, so long as a fan knows how to do martial arts, they can come in the ring and Vader will be your mate. So in you come, do what you like. WCW was spending the time going, throw garbage at people, it'll be fine. What did you expect would happen? One of them was in Little Rock, Arkansas. So.
I don't know if I misunderstood what you're saying. So because they promoted Steve Blackman as being a fan, it caused riots?
Not exactly, but basically I think like after a while, fans just thought they could do whatever the fuck they like and just lob stuff at people. There was one of them where Danny Hodge was going to be given an award, and he was going to be given it by Ken Shamrock, who was a babyface. And then Shawn Michaels went, no, I want to give Danny Hodge an award. And they're like, that wouldn't make sense, Shawn. You're a babyface. You're a heel, and Ken Shamrock's a babyface. It's like, shut up. I want to give Danny Hodge the award. And then it all just went to shit because Shawn Michaels was trying, and that caused a riot somewhere. That's the thing. There you go.
So, apart from the Team USA promo, which was pretty shit,
again,
we then got the Team Canada promo.
Yeah, featuring...
on Team Canada, only half of the team were from Canada.
No,
oh, no,
less
shit.
than half.
One
Neidhart's
member.
not even Canadian.
Yeah, he ain't.
So,
Fuck.
only one of the members...
Wait, so where's Jim Neidhart from?
Tampa, Florida.
Is he really? I never knew that.
I looked this up.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't think... Like, obviously, Bulldog's not. I was like,
yeah,
there's something funny here. So I looked it up. Yeah, Neidhart's from Tampa, Florida. He's just Canadian by mates.
Well, no, by marriage, isn't he? Because he married a Canadian.
Okay, by marriage.
Same as Bulldog.
Doug Furness literally says on this, I'm not Canadian, but now I'm Canadian because I don't like America, so nah. British Bulldog, his literal name is British Bulldog.
Yeah.
So that gives you an implication.
And he cuts the promo for them as well, which is the best part.
Yeah, it's Phil LaFon.
Yeah, Phil LaFon's the one. And that's the guy who, when I was watching this, I'm looking at like...
Who are you?
Who's that? Like, I watched it this time and I don't know who you are.
These two...
Phil LaFon's mum and dad were going, who's that?
I remember Doug Furness.
Furness and LaFon, I really need to find the article, but they got into a really bad car accident.
Oh.
And that... I don't know if it ended the career, but it definitely shortened it. Jesus. And it was in WWE magazine. They had pictures of the fucking wreck and stuff, and like all the cuts on the head.
Yeah.
And,
oh my god!
Yeah, it's fucking mental.
That's
like,
shocking.
I remember getting the magazine and looking at it, and I just used to look at the pictures in the magazine. Like my dad I used to fucking hate it. Right, he used to go to news agents, and he'd just be like he'd be probably looking for his smutty magazines or something. And I'm looking at wrestling magazines,
oh, Dad, can you buy me this? He's like, no, because you don't read them. I'm like, no, I promise I'll read it this time. And of course, I never fucking read it. I just looked at pictures.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at pictures of this magazine. I'm like, fuck me, this is like fucking an actual car wreck. Buy me this magazine. I actually fucking read it. Can't remember it now. So that's a bad end to the story, but...
No wonder your dad's like, it's not going to have more pictures of Shawn Michaels' arse in it, is it? No, Dad, but you know I'm going to have to put it up on your wall if you want it. No, it's all right, Dad. Don't worry about it.
So yeah, Bulldog cuts the promo at the beginning of this match. Oh, we're for Team Canada.
We're doing it for Canada because we like Canada.
Why would Bulldog be the designated promo? Oh, I can see now.
Yeah, that's why.
Jim Neidhart were too busy snorting the crap.
So Steve Blackman's the first one eliminated in this match.
Yeah, it's because he gets DQ'd or something, doesn't he?
he gets counted out while brawling with Furnace and LaFon outside the ring.
Yeah, well done, Steve. Well done. Go back into
He's a
crowd.
fan, though, isn't he?
He's only a fan, yeah. He's not experienced. But don't worry, he's got martial arts experience. They all come out to Kurt Angle's theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Patriots theme as well before this.
It was the Patriots
I believe,
theme.
Was the Patriots supposed to be in this match in Steve Blackman's place? Because
I wonder.
around this time, Dale Wilkes got fired.
Oh, probably then.
Because he's not on the show, is he? And he'd been wrestling Bret Hart in previous things. So it'd be weird for him just to disappear. I think he got fired just before this.
That would make sense then, yeah.
That's why on the Raw before the pay-per-view, they quickly... Here's Steve Blackman.
Yeah.
Can
here's
we
a fan.
take a minute to appreciate Goldust's face paint?
Yeah, what does Goldust say on his... it's FU, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. And Alive again?
I think...
I don't know. I know
back of
it
his head?
definitely says FU. I didn't notice the alive
Yeah.
again.
On the back of his head, it
What
says
does
Alive.
JR say it is? It's free unlimited or
I
something
thought it was
like
Forever Unchained.
that. That's right. I knew it was
Yeah,
something
because he was
weird.
getting divorced at the time.
Yeah. Still
Oh.
says FU on it though, doesn't
Wait,
it?
from Marlena?
Yeah.
Is it this show that JR says on commentary that Marlena's at home being a good mother, looking after the sick kids?
It
Or
might
is that
be
a
this
different
one.
show we've watched?
I can't remember if it's this one or if it's Canadian Stampede from a couple of weeks back.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that line as well though, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, that's where women belong in this time.
Yeah,
It
Vader.
is 97.
Yeah, I know.
Vader is responsible for every Team
How many
Canada
women's
member.
matches on this show? Yeah, Vader's
Vader eliminates Jim Neidhart, Phil LaFon, and Doug Furnace with splashes and a Vader bomb. Team USA had 2 members not get eliminated by Team Canada members.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Steve Blackman
was
get
one.
counted out, and then Goldust walks out after refusing to tag in Vader because Vader slaps him.
Yeah, it just fucks off. Cheers, Goldie.
Yeah, which
Yeah, but he got
leaves
slapped.
So, don't fuck off.
Vader 2-1 down.
That's
Doug
a tag
Furnace
in a
and-
way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug Furnace and Vader and Bulldog are left. He eliminates Doug Furnace, and Bulldog hits him with a ring bell, which gets a huge pop from the crowd.
Of course it does. Team
And-
Canada.
British Bulldog is the lone survivor of Team Canada.
That's right. Let's repeat that sentence. British Bulldog is the lone survivor of Team Canada.
It was over as fuck, though,
Well, of course he was, because
Yeah.
he's a heart by marriage.
by penis.
Yeah.
His penis has been inside a heart.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't go too close
Yeah,
to
let's-
that
let's-
particular
Oh,
story.
no, I actually weren't.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
just let's
Yeah.
just not.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't doing that.
All right, I'll let you off. Let's not and say we did. Which instead, no. I didn't. I stopped myself. It's fine. This has been a horrible series of.
Let's move on to a good thing. And as much as you rag on Mick Foley, they were a good promo, weren't it?
We have the in-ring
I never
debut.
said he was bad at
of-
promos. I just
I know,
said
I
he's a
know.
soppy twat who
I know.
can't deal with himself.
Well, this Mick Foley we're allowed to like, aren't we?
Yeah, back when I had his book and that.
Yeah, this
Although I didn't know
promo
it
was
did,
brilliant.
But
And so Mankind is the first person to face Kane one-on-one in a match.
yes, he is. This is Kane's one-on-one debut.
Yeah.
In fact,
Right, so in 97, did this lighting annoy the fuck out of you?
Yes.
Good, I'm glad. 'cause
it
it
annoyed the
annoyed
fuck
as
out
well.
of me for the 9 minutes and 57 seconds. I had to
Because
sit
think
through
about
for
it as
this.
well.
Yeah, but I think this is the first time they did something like that because I don't remember. I watched from about 94-ish, and I don't remember ever seeing anything like that where the match would be lit differently.
Mhm.
But now you've had to live through Sin Cara, mate.
Yeah, that was worse.
Also, at the
No,
time,
actually, maybe it wasn't. It was equally as bad.
think about the difference in how we watched it now as well. Like when we watched it recently, we've got HD TVs and all that stuff, and the footage has been digitized and brightened up and stuff and made to look better. I had to watch this on a VHS tape,
Mhm.
bought from WH Smith in Rotherham.
At least you bought yours. I had a
Yeah.
VHS copy of WrestleMania 18 for which you had to turn the volume all the way up on the television to actually hear any of it. So if you were going to stop watching it, you had to remember to mute it, turn the television off, or at least turn the volume down before you stopped watching the video.
Yeah,
My mate recorded it off of Sky Sports 1.
I distinctly remember watching this on a VHS player that the remote was on a wire.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was an old
Classic.
VHS player that we had.
Yeah, but that's an old one because in
Yeah.
'97 I didn't have
Oh, yeah,
one.
yeah. You had things, but yeah.
Yeah.
The one we had in the bedroom so I could go and watch my wrestling had a wire on it and stuff. So this match was kind of difficult to watch at the time.
Talking of kind of difficult to watch.
Pon?
No, I was moving
sorry.
back into the match.
Oh, okay, all right
Sluggish, innit?
Like, Mankind takes a lot of bumps, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Bit awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, kind
Tell you what, like, at the time, I remember...
It's all right, though. I don't think he takes any more bumps after this, so it's all fine.
I remember, like, seeing Kane and just being completely in awe with him. And I still kind of am. Like, not modern Kane. I go back and watch old Kane and think he's the best thing ever still. And this
We
match...
watched really old Kane earlier,
I was going to say, is that why you made us watch Yankum DTS 10 minutes ago?
Old Kane is great. We watched the in-ring debut of Glenn Jacobs.
No, we watched the WWF debut.
Yeah.
And
He lost by DQ.
yeah.
It was great.
Was it great or was it really bad and did it make us all feel awkward? There you go. Let's carry on.
Yeah.
Next song.
This match was... I think if I watched this match by itself, I'd be a bit disappointed. But in the context of the show, it was great.
Yeah, it was. This was one of the best matches on the show.
I finally, I was sat kind of just blankly watching it like I do pay-per-views now. And this was the match that made me sit up a bit and was like, oh, it's Mankind versus Kane. This is going to be great. That he's going to batter each other. And it was kind of what you expect. Kane just destroys Mankind.
Yep.
And bear in mind, this time, Mankind was the guy who'd only lost once to The Undertaker by this point.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't the joke thing he became later. He was a serious threat to people. And for Kane to just dominate him like he did was pretty crazy.
A bit like what they're trying to do with Braun Strowman and Kane now, in a way, isn't it? Like before and that. So, well, sort of.
So,
Ahmed Johnson.
Well, there's a promo after this.
Okay. Is it done by Ahmed Johnson?
No, Vince talks about the importance of having Brett/Shawn take place, and they've taken extra measures to make sure there are no issues beforehand. He has no idea who's going to win.
Oh, this is leading into what you were arguing last week, isn't it? Why didn't you bring this up last week?
Because I had it down.
There are a lot of weird things on this show.
Yeah.
Like, did Brett have anyone at home watching the show going? I mean, they were probably all there, weren't they?
In wrestling law, they don't, do they?
Yeah. But also, they were probably all there. Because, surely, if you're Brett and you're at home, right, do you not get a phone call now? I know you're going to tell me he doesn't have a mobile. Of course he doesn't. Someone phones the arena and goes, can I speak to Brett?
No, we're actually going to say something really horrible. So
okay, well, probably for the best I stopped you. And they're like, Brett, they're saying a lot of weird stuff on here. Are you sure you're not about to get screwed?
Let's move on.
So, we have Ahmed Johnson. We have
Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock and the Legion of Doom versus the Nation of Domination.
3/4 of this was on the team that was at Canadian Stampede.
Yeah.
That's all I have to add. The Nation
Ken
of
Shamrock
Domination.
does a promo before, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he
He's
ends up
getting in the zone, isn't he?
Yeah, tell him Hawk. And then Hawk does his promo.
I was like, all right, I'm Hawk. What a rush.
Becky instantly went after watching the Ken Shamrock promo saying, I'm glad he got better at it when he got back into MMA. Because it was a bad promo. She's like, I'm not excited for this match in the slightest.
I am Ken Shamrock. I am dangerous.
I do miss this, though. Do you know, doing the little promo before the match?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I used to really enjoy that.
Yeah, the only problem is who does that now? Dolph Ziggler. So
Does he?
ruined for everybody, really.
No, I mean, the promo backstage where he does the little interview, then they go...
And then
like
music
that.
hits during the promo.
Yeah, I do like those sort of things, actually. Yeah, they do a fair bit of that, don't they?
Yeah, I like all the backstage segments on the show. It was one of the highlights of it.
Yeah, it is, well, considering the matches.
Yeah.
It's not hard for it to be one of the highlights. So, run us through the Nation of Domination's lineup, just so everyone's clear.
It is Hawk. No, it's not. It's Farouk.
Farouk, obviously.
Kama Mustafa.
My son.
D'Lo Brown and Rocky Maivia.
Rocky Maivia.
I think if I have a son, I'm going to name him Karma.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I already took Farouk off you, didn't
Well,
I?
I know. Yeah, well, I inspired that.
Yeah.
So.
You're going to call your son Daryl Jr.
Well, I will, but I imagine that I will have several sons. Because if I hate one of them, then I'll love the other one.
Right.
I imagine it's law of averages, isn't it?
Daryl,
one of them will piss me off somehow.
You've not had a child, have you?
No, and also
Can really tell.
how many kidney transplants can you have in a lifetime? Because
2.
Is that all?
Well, mate, all I'm saying is, like, you've only got 2 kidneys, haven't you?
Yeah, so like,
It
I
means
get,
getting them back.
I don't
on
think
the
you
wall.
could be. I don't think you could be replaced with further kidneys, can it? Like, you can't just keep going
yeah, but
through.
technology is advancing, mate.
Depends
Oh,
how
okay.
good / shady a doctor
Yeah,
is.
like if I need to like grow a spare ear on back or something on his back, then I could grow it and then have it grafted on. You don't know what kind of like accidents I'm going to get into.
You know, Daryl's gonna have a bunch of kids for organ replacement, and then they're gonna legalize the whole 3D printing of organs thing.
Yeah,
And he's gonna be like, "Shit, I've got kids to look after."
Who could argue against the 3D printing of organs? Like, who's going to argue against that?
there'll be some like Christian.
That's the only people, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what's your argument? Oh, God doesn't want it. How do you know? He
Yeah,
made 3D
yeah,
printers,
exactly.
didn't he?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Technically, if you believe in God, he invented 3D printers. So
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't say in Bible, "Thou shalt not 3D print an organ."
That'd be my favourite Bible passage. And yea did Abraham say to Isaac, "Thou shalt not 3D print my heart." For
adding the modern science references is how Heaven's Gate happened. I'll just warn you.
I
on
don't know what
one.
that means, mate. But all right.
Heaven's Gate was it's the biggest mass suicide in US history.
Ah,
you know,
now
the-
he's low at tone.
now he's gone to Dan level, hasn't he? This is
I've been
his
listening to a show about cults. It's really
this is his
interesting.
shit.
Anyway,
You know what I mean?
let's
Like,
talk
last
more.
week was your shit with conspiracy. This is his shit.
I've been watching Mindhunter as well. It's really good. You should watch
Oh, let's
I
move on
finished
to
it, mate.
talking about the
it. I ain't
actual
finished
match
it yet. I'm like halfway through it. I'm
We
really
are
liking
the
it.
nation
of domination. Nation.
It's one of my favourite entrance musics of this time.
I prefer it when Wolfie D sings it.
PG-13 was it?
Yeah.
Nobody prefers it when Wolfie D sings it. Nobody. That's like saying you really like the version of American Beautiful sung by the DX band.
I mean, I don't give a fuck about America, to be honest with you, so
Yeah,
fuck them.
If anything, that's worse. Like, already a song that you don't want to listen to, and it's sung by the DX band. He is dead. So, you know,
Oh.
can't slander the dead. You're terrible, Chris Catton. Was it Catton? Or is that the guy from Saturday Night
Chris
Live?
Catton, Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, they're all same to me. All the whiteys.
Anyway, Ahmed Johnson's wearing more knee pads than you'd be able to buy in any shop.
Ahmed Johnson's knees were clearly fucked from the minute he was bought.
Yeah.
That was the first question I got asked: is why has he got knee pads around his thighs?
Got knee pads
Like,
on his knee
because
pads.
he'd had muscle tears on every muscle on his leg, so he wore knee pads as support rather than a support bandage, which is their actual
Yeah, I
purpose.
don't think he was a bright human being.
What gave you that impression?
The thigh pads.
Oh, yeah, okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, that's good evidence.
Yeah,
And
Ahmed
everything he
Johnson.
said and did.
I remember when he debuted and thinking, "This guy's fucking brilliant."
Did he have the shoulder pads on for this?
No, I don't think he did.
Because
He just had the one pair of elbow pads, I think. but then
because he
maybe he'd taken them off and put them on his
oh, no,
shins.
there's a future match, or maybe it must be a future match where he gets given a set of shoulder pads when he's teaming with LOD. And
I know which one you mean. It's WrestleMania 13, wasn't it?
Oh, it
It was
must be
back at
before
WrestleMania
this then.
13, yeah.
But he steals them because
What?
he steals the shoulder
Yeah,
pads.
I remember.
He's not allowed because they were meant to give him back and he didn't. But like I don't
Are
know
we talking in real life or on this?
in
Real
real
life,
life, yeah. But like I'm not sure that must be a false story because
Oh.
Animal tells it in a shoot, but I think it must be a lie because if this match obviously is after that, and they're still teaming with him, and there's like you'd think there'd be heat there, like they'd have beat piss out of him and got him back. There's two of them, one of him.
Yeah, but have you seen Ahmed Johnson?
I don't know. Remember, Hawk was normally like he'd imbibed. Is that the right word? He like Hawk was chemically altered at times. So
Ahmed probably went, yeah, I gave them back to
actually,
you.
no, it's more likely they didn't attack him because Hawk said, "What are you talking about? There's two of him."
Yeah.
Oh damn, he's dead now.
All right, mate, I'd
The-
never make a joke like that. Why are you doing it?
The other thing in this match that's kind of funny, every time I see Animal, I just think about how his family's conversations go. Because Hawk's really, Animal's really intense and everything, isn't he? And he's got like loud wrestler, 80s voice, and then his brother's there.
Or Funk Man.
Hey, Animal, how you
One
doing?
of the only funny things that CM Punk has ever said was calling Johnny Ace Funk Man. Funkhauser. That is like... do you know, I didn't get it until recently. I actually just started watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, and now I get it.
It's great.
Now it's funny.
He was also the surrogate in Arrested Development.
Okay. All right.
It's very good.
Good.
So yeah, this match, Ken Shamrock won by submitting Rocky Maivia which was I can't remember if this is the jumping off point for their singles feud, which would eventually lead to WrestleMania 14.
They started referring to was he? I might imagine this. Was he wearing the Rock tights at this point?
No, he was in the trunks.
Still in the trunks.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think I might be thinking of something else.
Just a quick one.
Yeah.
Is one of the Godwins dead?
Mark Canterbury
Mate, I'm
died,
not being
didn't
funny, but you're the Godwins expert.
I
Did
know.
Mark Canterbury die?
I don't know. Can we Google it?
Phineas Midian, he's not dead because he's a very famous chef now in Florida.
Yeah.
Which was the one that Triple H brought back in like 2014 or something? I mean, not them, but like 2009.
Oh no,
or
Mark
8.
Canterbury's still going. They're both still alive. Then.
Oh, that's all right then.
Why's that?
Well, we were talking about death, and I was just trying to figure out.
How many dead people?
How
on
many
the
were
show?
dead?
Well, yeah, I was trying.
You've got a tally, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Probably has.
I was just looking at the matches. I was going to say because obviously Mankind and Kane, they're all right.
Yeah.
So I was going to say that's one match.
Yeah.
And then obviously the main event, that's another match that's fine.
Yeah.
But then every other match would have had a dead person in it.
If one of them went, but we're all right.
Who's-
We're all- Where's
Who's
Ahmed
thingy-
Johnson? Is he dead?
No, he's still going.
Fair enough.
He's just really fat now.
He's probably not wrestling though, is he?
No, but Hawk's dead, so that's
Yeah,
that match
okay,
covered.
good point.
What about in the first match?
The first match-
Headbangers and Blackjacks.
No, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Headbangers are alive. They were on
Yeah.
SmackDown.
Barry Windham alive?
Yeah, just.
Oh, good.
New Age Outlaws are alive.
We know the Headbangers are alive because, again, I
Yeah, we've just
reiterate, they're
established the
the
Godwins.
11th best team on SmackDown.
According to Filthy Ford Daily a few weeks ago, Billy Gunn's getting ready for another run at WWE, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the heat's died down on it.
Yeah.
So his mate's bringing him back.
So, like the Truth Commission, I'm not sure if all of them are alive, but Crush is dead.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that covers Disciples of Apocalypse. Team USA versus Team Canada. I don't think we need to win Team Canada who's dead.
Right, go on.
We're just doing Deathcast, all right? We're just talking about death for a minute. Can we just chill out? Just
For anyone who's not been a wrestling fan long term, this is what our lives were for 10 years, where it was just who's dead this week.
Kane and Mankind are fine, but Paul Bearer is dead, so if you don't, you
Yeah.
might want to count that. Stop it.
What?
We're having serious Deathcast.
Are you?
Yeah. And then Hawk died. So we've made it so far.
Let's talk about.
Look, let's stop talking about death and start talking about an Owen Hart match.
That was our last Survivor Series match. Let's go into the Intercontinental title match. Steve Austin gets a chance to regain the Intercontinental title. He won at SummerSlam against Owen Hart, who has been wearing the Owen 316 says I just broke your neck shirt to taunt him for weeks.
Yeah,
this match was underwhelming.
It was beyond underwhelming, but then it shouldn't be happening, should it?
Yeah, I
No.
don't think Austin were ready, were he?
No, well, I mean, he said he wasn't ready when he was in the AOL lounge.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Keyword superstars. Keyword superstars. That's all I'm saying. Go into America Online. Keyword superstars. You can chat to Stone Cold Steve Austin's mate, who was all in
So
computer.
what is AOL, mate? What is it? Because they do
Internet
it.
service provider.
I don't know. Because I used to have a CD that said AOL
Yeah,
on
they're
it.
an internet service
They were meant to
provider.
give you internet, but somebody told me not to.
Here's what I gathered about AOL, and correct me if I'm wrong here, right? It was an internet service provider, as you said, who took a subscription fee off you. Now, I don't know if you remember being on the internet in dial-up times, but you used to have to pay for dial-up. You went on the internet, you paid for it like a phone call.
Yeah.
But AOL, you had to pay for a subscription as well.
What, as well
it
as
included.
yeah.
I think it included your first few minutes because CompuServe was another one at the time that did the similar thing where you pay $4.99 a month, and then you got that covered you for an hour, but that was it. And after an hour a month, and then after that you had to pay your per minute.
Because on my computer, my dad used AOL, but I didn't use it. I don't know why.
Netscape was another one.
That's
too.
where he had his porn.
Netscape Navigator was the browser. That was the proper browser.
Yeah.
Yeah, before Internet Explorer came along and ruined everything.
Did you guys ever go in the old WWF chat room?
No.
I used to frequent that all the way through 98, 99.
I don't know when I
2000.
got the internet, but I would mainly use it for MSN, to be honest with you.
Yeah, MSN.
Say hey, how are you? What are you up to? I just sent him. I were at school just
ASL.
before. Yeah. Well, no, I knew him because I weren't talking to randoms. I don't talk to randoms in real life. I'm not doing it on
Yeah,
internet.
you're
am I?
fine. I was nice about that.
I joined a wrestling forum in 2001 when
Yeah.
I was at school, and I still keep in contact with a lot of them today. And they're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't listen to this though.
Why not?
Well, that's a bit personal. I don't. It's a bit too close. You know what I mean? You keep them at arm's length. I don't know their names. It's fine.
Let's move on.
Yeah, it's got a bit awkward. It's almost as awkward as this match felt because Austin clearly hated Owen for damaging his neck and not apologising.
I would as well.
Yeah.
Did he actually not apologise? In serious note,
Yeah,
did he not?
Brett corroborates in his book as well and everything that Owen didn't like go to the hospital and visit him, which is kind of like, it's the dumb thing. If you hurt someone in the ring, you go see them at least.
Yeah.
That
Or you give him a
seems
phone
really,
call.
it seems really out of character with everything that you hear about Owen Hart.
That's what everyone says, and Austin held a grudge because of it.
Rightly so.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah, it's fully understandable. Like, no one could understand it. Maybe it was like a thing that he was like, he didn't know how to face him or something, but at the same time, you do what's right, don't you? But
Yeah, but like I
Yeah.
think from what I've listened to quite a lot of Austin's podcasts and stuff. So like from what I gather, if from his personality, if Owen had have gone to him like, look, I'm fucking sorry and that kind of thing, like I'm sure Austin would have been like, oh shit happens in ring, like you know.
Yeah.
But like because he went a man and didn't go and apologise, then yeah, like fuck him.
yeah, it was really weird. But this match is pretty much a squash, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hardly anything happens, and then Austin stuns him and pins him, and that's it, and it's over. And Austin's the Intercontinental Champ again,
Good.
and that's about it. And it leads us into our main event.
Oh yes.
Right. I'm going to talk about this match because I've never seen this match before. I really enjoyed. I think this was leading up to being a really good match, actually. Like, genuinely, if they had just carried on as it was, ignoring all the politics around it, I think considering that it's generally upheld that they didn't have very good matches very often.
They
Like, 'cause
barely
they
faced
didn't-
each other.
Because they didn't like each other.
Yeah, well,
The
it was like
92
trying to get them in
Survivor
the ring,
Series.
yeah.
And obviously WrestleMania 12. And that's pretty much it, isn't it? In terms
Yeah.
of single. Oh, they had that ladder match that Brett was really annoyed about.
Yeah,
So I had the
a
ladder
few-
match.
They had a few matches like in 92, 93, stuff like that, but they made like at their peaks they had two matches. And that like I agree with you on that as well. Like I know again the bias of Bret Hart stuff comes out, but
What did you think
This
of the WrestleMania 12 match? Because different people think of different things.
I think it's brilliant.
There you go. Because you're generally either in that camp, or what did you think
Yeah,
of it,
but
Darren?
at the same
Yeah,
time,
I really like it. Yeah.
at the
'Cause I
same
know
time,
that- yeah, go on.
it stopped me watching for over a year.
Yeah, because he lost.
Yeah, because Bret lost.
But like, I know a lot of people hate that match. They're like, it's boring and it's long and it doesn't need to be as long as it is. So I just genuinely, there's no
Yeah.
point to this. I'm just gauging it. But like, the suggestion has often been that these two, if they could have got along, should have been like their generation's Flair and Steamboat. But they hated each other and they never had great matches with each other. So
See, I think like that match at WrestleMania 12 and then this one, the way it starts really hot, like the whole match is built around the fact these are two people who legitimately hate each other. They just want to tear each other, and that's how they do the match. And
sounds a bit like what you said last week, Daryl, doesn't it? Like the whole thing's built towards it. Whoa. Doodly-doodly-doodly-doodly.
but yeah, like they brawl through the crowd and everything. One of the things I noticed about this show is the crowd don't stay in their seats or like in the area of their seats. It's almost like a fucking mosh pit during this match. They're moving around and everything.
Canada, innit? They're just
Yeah.
all want to get near Brett.
But like, yeah, when they're brawling in the crowd and it's all the referees having to hold them back, all the fans back.
It's like an Attitude Era type match.
Yeah.
It's like where wrestling is going to, which that intrigued me because I didn't know that about this match. I just knew it was a match and it ended early. That's as much as I knew. But it's like, this is reminiscent of anything you'd see in like 98, 99
Yeah.
main event. But sort of before that, if you get my drift,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of antics like humping the Canadian flag.
Well, I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Wasn't it the Montreal flag? He had a blue one that I guessed must have been the Montreal flag.
Yeah, maybe.
I didn't.
Oh, as well with that. So they filmed those ring entrances that they were doing live. So Sean humping the... Oh, sorry, it wasn't complete light. It was a few seconds delay. So while Sean was humping the flag, Brett was being filmed coming out of his dressing room and stuff. So he didn't know Sean did that.
Yeah.
And his dad was very, very unhappy that he was even involved in something like that.
His dad sat there going, "Huh, I can't imagine being more annoyed at this. Nothing could make me more annoyed than him humping the flag right now. Why is he putting him in the sharpshooter?"
Yeah, he screwed him.
Stuart sat at home in rocking chair.
See, this
Nothing could make me more annoyed.
See,
Why is he spelling out WCW?
This match is really, really great. and then the finish happens.
Yeah.
And it's really weird.
So I get my cock out.
Obviously.
Yeah. So, like, on the thing as well, like going back to last week, we should have brought this up last week when we talked about whether it was work, whether it was shoot. It ends really weird and suddenly, and I guess that could play either way on it. But to me, it's one of those things where it's like, it ends really suddenly, and you don't really know what's going on, and Vince is there, you see Brett spit in his face.
Vince at ringside. JR's commentary. What do we think about that? Because it sounds to me like he starts to build and build up and build up, and then he goes, and he says the finish as it looks. But what he says, I'm sure it's something along the lines of, this match ends with Shawn Michaels putting Bret Hart in his own sharpshooter and winning the WWF title. He doesn't say beating him.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, there's so many theories as to who knows, who doesn't know, so there's a lot of people that must have known that we don't really address. Like, it needs to be a specific camera angle for this to work. It needs to be put over a certain way for this to work. But I don't know if it was JR just being told to say what he was told to say and then going off the air quickly, or if he sussed out what was going on but didn't want to say anything. It really sounds like he knows what's happened.
I think,
but I don't know if it's because he knew beforehand or he just figures it out on the spot,
Well, JR's kind of famous for not wanting to know the finishes of matches before.
Yeah,
he
well, that's
calls
what I was
them.
sort of wondering. You see,
on this, I feel like it's more of a case of a lot of the people around this have been in the business for a long time, and once it happens, they know what's happened, and the fact Vince is ringside and all that stuff. And one of the things as well is, in Brett's book, he talks about how Bulldog was supposed to be keeping an eye on Hunter to make sure he wasn't getting involved in stuff, because he wasn't involved in the actual match. So just keep an eye on him, make sure he's not involved in fucking me over. So Bulldog was looking for him.
Bulldog's like,
Hunter, you don't really see ringside until the end.
Does I have to stop smoking me crack?
He's out there the entire match, but you don't see him on camera at all. So he's hidden somewhere at ringside. And Bulldog, the reason why Bulldog or anyone isn't ringside with him is because they are literally backstage waiting to make sure.
Standing at the curtain to do their interference.
Standing at the curtain to the interference to make sure Hunter or anyone doesn't like run through too early or anything, not knowing that they're already in the ring, like down at ringside, ready to get Shawn out of trouble straight away.
Yeah, they'll have come through the back, won't they? Like, like now it's more obvious now. You know where all the camera setup is.
Yeah,
and there's like that walkway between the fans and the cameras, isn't there? They'll have gone around that way.
Yeah, so they're hidden somewhere there, and it's just all this weirdness around it. And like I remember, like at the time, I didn't get to watch it. I didn't have Sky or anything. I had to wait for the videos to see pay-per-views, so I knew what had happened in advance. And it was still really weird watching it. And I'm kind of gutted that the network version now hasn't put the extended version up. It ends really suddenly. I feel like we're far enough away now where they would be fully excused for putting the extra few minutes of footage on the end of it that they've shown a million times already.
Well,
Brett,
it's on the Tag Classic DVD. It's definitely on that.
Yeah, it is on that, I think. I haven't watched it on the Tag Classic DVD, but I remember it being on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not on the network one, so it just cuts off really suddenly. So it's before Brett motions WCW and then decides, I'm going to smash up their expensive TV monitors.
Yeah.
Yeah, which sort of precludes him, and that and punching Vince sort of precludes him from doing any sort of lawsuit action. So, well done, Brett.
But he does the C backwards, which always pissed me off.
Did it?
Yeah. So this was, I'd say there's one...
Maybe spelling to people behind him.
Good point.
Yeah.
No longer pisses me off.
There you go. Good.
Like this pay-per-view has one good match in the middle of the card, and the main event is really great until the finish. And if we don't think about all the work or shoot stuff around it, it's just a weird ending to
I'm
a
just
really
going
good
to call
match.
it, this is a bad pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's
not good.
It depends what you're looking for from... I've got nostalgia for Disciples of Apocalypse and Truth Commission and Ahmed Johnson.
I reiterate, this is a bad pay-per-view.
It is a bad show.
Everyone on it is terrible, and they should all be ashamed.
But yeah, this main event...
Especially the Truth Commission and Ahmed Johnson and whoever else Daryl said.
But like the one thing it's remembered for is the main event and the impact it's had, and which is why 20 years later we've spent this entire month discussing it in detail, and now we're here. And
it's like nobody talks about the play that Lincoln got shot at, do they?
Yeah,
I mean, no one's like, we want to see that play again. You know what I mean?
What play was it?
I'll level with you. I don't remember.
Oh.
So yeah, we're at this stage now, and it's kind of weird. And we all know what happened next. Bret went off to WCW, was horribly misused before his career was ended by an errant kick. Shawn Michaels would only last another 2 or 3 months. Well, a month later, 2 months later, he would pick up a career-ending injury.
Got a bad back.
And then he would return a few years later and completely turn around the perception of him and become one of the greatest performers of all time if he wasn't already.
Yep, he wasn't already. He literally needed that run to do it. That was his better run. His previous run was wank.
Vince McMahon, 2 years after this, would take WWE.
Well, it wasn't great, was it? You know.
He would take the then WWF public and become a billionaire.
And also the biggest heel in the world.
Yeah.
Bret had a stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Until
Sean found God.
Actually, I know we haven't
Sean's
watched
got
this.
a banging wife.
I know we haven't watched this recently.
Bret's
but
had like 3 banging wives, so you know.
Does he?
Yeah, probably.
I feel there's one thing we need to talk about before we finish today, and it's not something we've watched, but we'll probably remember it. Bret Hart's return to the WWE.
Yep.
So, for years, Bret Hart refused to have anything to do with the WWE for whatever reasons. The Montreal screw job, everything else that happened. When he had his stroke, the first person to call him was Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon put out the olive branch.
Apparently a very common thing.
Yeah.
I know Jeff Jarrett's talked about Vince McMahon was the first person to call him after his wife died.
Yeah,
So-
Vince did that.
Yeah.
And even then, Bret got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he said the reason he did that was to allow the door to open because he was afraid that his legacy would be buried by the WWF unless he started to slightly cooperate.
Yeah, didn't
So-
appear on WrestleMania though, which
Yeah.
they made very clear. Bret
Yeah.
Hart didn't feel comfortable, but here's the rest of the people.
Yeah, just a big gap in the middle where Bret would have stood because he
Yep.
was the lead inductee. They released the Bret Hart anthology just after that, which was the first time you'd got a massive collection of Bret Hart stuff, which was really, really great.
Was that before or after the Bret Hart, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be?
It was that one.
That's the one, because that was the one that was heavily rumoured to be called Screwed, the Bret Hart story,
Yeah.
before they
What in a similar ilk to the Ultimate Warrior one.
Self-Destruction, the Ultimate Warrior, yeah.
So then
Do
eventually...
you know the Ultimate Warrior is a character and not a person? They said that a few weeks back.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
because that makes it okay for you know to use that man who wanted everyone to die as a survivor for cancer story.
All this leads to eventually Bret agrees to come back. I believe it's the Raw that opposes the first live
January
Monday
4th.
night TNA Impact.
It is, yeah.
They get Bret Hart to come back, and they open the show with Bret and Shawn Michaels in the ring together in an unscripted segment where they air their grievances. Like, they talked briefly, I think, before it, and they'd pretty much said, let's just talk out there. Like, they just greeted each other and then went out there, and they aired it all out, and then it led to a pretty disappointing thing.
You've missed one thing, though.
Go on.
Right. So, there's a show in Canada on Raw, and Bret's Sean's healing it up. I think it's like, maybe like 05-ish when
Oh,
he's having
yeah.
a feud with Hogan, and they fucking play Bret's music. The fucking crowd go absolutely mental.
Well, not only did they play Bret's music, they've got a new video for him. That was
Yeah.
what I think really set everybody off. It's a brand new video.
I remember
Someone
that.
put together a Bret Hart entrance video
Yeah.
with the word Hitman and everything else like that. And yeah, that's an amazing
Yeah,
pop.
you know why I remember that?
Why?
Because it fucking caught me, didn't it?
Oh.
Because, yeah, I'm the biggest fucking Bret Hart fan. I love Bret. Like, the thought of him coming back to TV was the best thing ever. I know eventually we'd learn it maybe wasn't the best thing, but that him coming back to Raw was such a huge moment, and we're now in this stage where Bret can make odd appearances and stuff.
Bret won the US title in that run.
Yeah, he did. It's crazy, isn't it?
They did.
All without
Wrestled the Miz, didn't
all
he?
without
Titles
taking
won,
a bump.
Bumps none.
He took less bumps than Kevin Nash. That's how that's how little bumps he took. But yeah, I feel like him coming back as well has greatly helped his legacy, because he is still in that conversation now of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Whereas I feel like if he hadn't have ever come back, he wouldn't get mentioned that much on WWE TV. no
Yeah,
matter
we got
what
to
other
like
bits
look
did.
at Austin, aren't you? Like Austin's it's kind of on outswim at the minute, it seems, and they don't tend to mention him a lot as a great wrestler.
Yeah,
So like they can easily like get rid of you because they did it with Bret for a while because like
fucking Hulk Hogan.
well yeah, but like if you think about it, there were a good stretch of time where
Yeah.
they just never mentioned him, and then obviously he came back for the Hall of Fame and stuff, and he's now mentioned up there, which obviously that satisfies his ego.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing all the way through his career. Like, he was very conscious of the fact about his legacy, and his legacy always meant a lot to him, which is why he took himself so seriously. And him coming back to WWE allowed that legacy to be celebrated, which is good for him. But it's also good for people like me who also wants to celebrate Bret's career. Like, I love going back and watching old Bret Hart matches. We did it before we recorded. I randomly put on SummerSlam 95, him versus Isaac Yankem. It's a kind of shit match, but I love going back and watching Bret Hart matches. Because to me, like, he was the best thing in WWE at the time.
So it was the end of the show that I said he was the best there is.
No, because that would be the host's job to end it like that.
Play the theme tune just to carry on.
But yeah,
Has he got any kids who are in wrestling?
not in wrestling.
He's got a child called Dallas. I know that much.
Yeah, Blade is one of his kids, and he does like
named after Blade Braxton off of WrestleCraft.
he was involved in that Bret Hart podcast that he had for a little while that he stopped because he said it made him bitter.
What? No, that's what made him bitter.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, Bret has got that reputation now. We make jokes about it. I recognise it fully. He can be a bit of a bitter bastard.
Yes, he's a bitter.
And he's got his opinions on wrestling. He's not full Jim Cornette, but
still doesn't like Triple H. Like,
no,
there's a point. Still doesn't like Triple H. So, like, will he be on the outs once Vince is like, you know?
Yeah, because like Triple H will like invite him in, won't he? Like, he don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, might invite him in and then do more screw jobs in front of him like they did before.
I mean, if you want to hear, like, all Bret Hart said about Triple H about the fact that he was a bit of a weasel for being involved in the screw job was the fact that he's the guy who works with good people.
4 out of 10.
Road Dogg and Billy Gunn said way worse things about him.
That's true. They were on TV going, "Oh, you're a knobhead."
No, they're on shoot interviews saying more than that.
Yeah, see, find the New Age Outlaws RF shoot. It's fucking brilliant.
I'd love Triple H to just be like, "Hey lads, let's watch a video." Oh look, it's you. What are you calling me there? A big-nosed bastard. Oh, you said I shagged my own mum. That's interesting. Oh, what's that? You said I sucked my own father-in-law's dick. You're in charge of SmackDown, aren't you? Oh, bet you wish I'd not seen this. See ya.
So yeah.
Best there is, the best was there ever will be. Good night, folks. No.
Nah.
Interesting show to watch in a historical context.
Shit show.
Don't waste your time on it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you've watched many documentaries about it, or
unless you've already watched it to play along with us.
Or watch that Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels' Greatest Rivalries Volume 1. They never did a Volume 2.
Who else would you have got to do one of them, though?
Flair and Steamboat.
Rock and Austin.
Rock and Austin.
You
couldn't get them, but you.
Oh, actually, Rock and Triple H because they hated each other.
Yeah, all right.
You're picking the wrong person.
Yeah, you don't want to get Rock.
Yeah. Austin and Dude Love.
I'd love that.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is that
Kane and Undertaker.
Yeah, that's true. The point is they only did it so that they could get Bret and Shawn in the same room, sell their own version of that, so that nobody else got it. Apart from that one time where they signed up for their own for a co-signing, so mates now, or whatever. Yeah. And Shawn just tells you all the time that he doesn't remember anything. It's like, Shawn, you had this amazing match. He's like, oh yeah, well I had the amazing match. Shawn, you fucked someone in front of your wife. Well, I had a lot of drugs. That didn't happen, but you get the point, listeners. Yeah. Like, Shawn, you shat on the Canadian flag and threw it in Bret Hart's mom's face. Well, I had a lot of drugs. John, you had the match of the year. I was great.
I'm not saying that didn't happen. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it definitely did happen. But it didn't. But maybe didn't.
Which is different from Bret Hart's version of the story. Was you were a dickhead, and I went backstage, and then someone really great told me I was their favorite wrestler.
Yeah. And then the Pope phoned me up. He's like, Bret, you make me believe in God.
So let's say, Bret's always going to be my favorite, and I've really enjoyed this month of stuff. And next week
I've enjoyed it too. You know what? I must admit, I was sort of a little bit tentative about it because I think sometimes you can look back on these things with nostalgic eyes, and as someone who wasn't watching it at the time, I didn't have any nostalgia for it. But a lot of it, I've really, really, really enjoyed.
We're back to normality next week.
Are we? Because actually, after next week, after the screw job that occurs at Survivor Series this year, 20 years on, we'll have to talk about that, won't we?
Yeah, when Jinder screws Brock or something.
When Heyman screws Brock by calling the
happen.
bell on, and he goes to India. All I'm saying is...
No, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah. What?
Then Heyman's not ringing the bell for Brock.
No. No one would ring the bell on Brock. No one. No one would ring... Even if they did, they get turned into Burger Face. I wish Goldberg was here. Remember Goldberg from last year? That was fun. Anyway, we're talking about Survivor Series next week, but thank you for listening to part 3 of Montreal 20 years on. We hope you've enjoyed it, and Don't forget to visit on Facebook, facebook.com/RoyalGrumble. Go to twitter.com/RoyalGrumblePod. Send us an email at royalgrumblepod@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube, Royal Grumble. Search for us on there. There's a picture of Daryl in a Bret Hart mask somewhere that you can enjoy. Download.
It's on Facebook and Twitter.
Download it.
Download it, laminate it, spunk on it.
Do it like
Wipe clean.
Yeah, obviously that's the
Rinse and reuse.
That's the plan. That's it for this week then. So say goodbye, Dan.
Goodbye.
Say goodbye, Daryl.
Goodbye, Daryl.
Goodbye for now.